Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the outer fringes of reality, where fact meets speculation, where paranoia meets illumination, where madness overlaps the fragile membrane of sanity. Do not be afraid. Open your eyes and open your minds to that region that lies beyond the realm of the known, that region we call the ExoZone. I am your host, Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, damn you all. And with me is my co-host and aficionado of all things fringe, the Nerdrotic Channel's Gary Beekler. Gary, how you doing, man?
Hail, Doomcock. Hail, everybody in the chat. Welcome to another ExoZone. I'm so excited about this one.
Me too. I've been actually meaning to write some music for it, and I just didn't have the time. But we keep growing and we keep changing, Gary. And I think every week that we do this, it will improve.
Absolutely. And just to remind the folks out there that this will be a podcast as well. If you miss it live, I back everything I do up on my website, nerdrotic.com, which is connected to iTunes and Player FM and lots of other places. So if you still do that podcasting thing, you can subscribe to Nerdrotic through there's iTunes and any iTunes mirror site out there. You'll find it. And this will be on your mobile device. So when you're driving around or late at night, you need somebody to go to sleep with, we'll be your voices. We'll be your ASMR of weird. I don't even know what ASMR is. It ASRM or ASMR? I have no idea what I'm talking about, but
I don't either. It sounds like something that, you take as a daily dose.
There's people with millions of subscribers and they're the people who talk really softly. And that's just, they do entire videos like this. And it's usually women and they have like brushes and they're brushing microphones and it's like kind of erotic in a way. And I think that's why they have millions of subscribers. It's ASMR. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a real thing. When I went to VidCon, they had a couple of ASMR people and I think one had a million subscribers. I'm like,
what the hell are you talking about?
These are people who talk softly into a microphone.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, it's a strange world we live in.
Well, this is part of the ExoZone weirdness, investigating why people talk softly into microphones.
And people enjoy it.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Harvey's getting excited here.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I think I've got a new racket. I think Harriet is going to start broadcast. Going to start doing a Harriet podcast. Here, I think I can talk softly. Hi.
Hologram Nunchuck says, Doomcock be like, I'll be right back. Oh, man. So, the one thing that got me wondering, Doomcock, got me thinking, got my wheels turning was, I want to say Sir Richard Golden because he should be knighted, even though he's American. He's my favorite UFO researcher. He's just a cool dude. I subscribed to his channel, and he had Gary McKinnon on recently, and I sent you the video, and I
watched it.
Yes, and he is the hacker from the early 2000s that hacked NASA, and the United States wanted to extradite him, and this was post 9/11, so there was lots of stuff going on. It was a really weird time if you're around back then. And the UK, to their credit, did not have him extradited because it turns out he's got Asperger's and he was a young kid at the time, and he technically didn't hack anything. He went to there was no real passwords on these. Were open sites that were using Windows, and this is our government here, and like Jesus. So he was able to get into the NASA computers and find out some, and this was based on information of a Donna Hare, who was in an interview with Donna Hare from the 70s. Donna Hare is the woman who was who airbrushed bases and anomalies out of NASA photography, literally airbrushed.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. And she has never, I don't even know if she's still around, but she never wavered from her story. And, this kind of leads me to disclosure and something we can all talk about tonight. And I kind of want to hear from you guys tonight, kind of like an open line situation, a little bit. I want to know, do you feel like, I mean, I don't think there'll ever be official disclosure. I don't think any president will come out and go, aliens are real. That's not going to happen, because I think they've kind of already done it. I think at this point to believe that there isn't life out there and they might be, checking in on us once in a while, I think it's kind of ridiculous, but that's me. But Gary McKinnon, has not changed his story. And he saw a ship, he saw a craft, and he saw some documents that said, what did it say? Non-terrestrial
personnel or non-terrestrial officers, or
yeah. It's
non-terrestrial personnel. I think that was it.
Yes, non-terrestrial personnel. I mean, that, I guess that could be personnel who goes to the moon. I don't know. The thing that got me is the ship that he says he saw. And he saw this cigar-shaped ship. It was a close-up picture. It was kind of low res. It was a cigar shape with a dome on top and bottom. I could probably even draw a picture of it. He never got a picture of it because it was, early 2000s and he couldn't screen capture. And it was a Java image, so he couldn't keep it.
Well, actually, if I recall from the interview, he could have screen capped it. He said that he was stupid not to, but the thing was, it was like downloading, one line at a time over a 54, K mode. And what happened is he actually got dumped out because, it was on a laptop, it was on a desktop, basically. He saw the mouse going, and they dumped him out. They caught him. They understood that he was inside the system somehow, and they killed the connection before he could hit the button.
Yes, you are correct. That he was moving his mouse. They saw the cursor moving, and they dumped him before he could do anything. You're right. And it was I think it was like 5 megabytes or something. I can't remember what the time range was, but you're right. It's just a line going, so he couldn't do it. That crap happened to me at Tesla all the time too. There's people at Tesla, like I'll be on my computer and all of a sudden my computer starts doing stuff without, I'm like, what the hell? And yeah, the guys at Tesla were always watching you. It's so weird.
Oh my.
Yeah, it was a weird place. So yeah, I think it's fascinating because that thing by itself, but it's these are the stories, Doomcock, that I find extraordinary because I believe them. These are not people who will come out and lie. This is what he was looking for, and I can believe this. I've heard, and then Donna Hare is another person I believe. There's a lot of stuff I don't believe, and we can even get into that later. I think
it was interesting. From what I gathered on the video, this woman had mentioned that it was in building 5 in this, or a section. She gave a specific section, like where her office was and where this kind of stuff was processed. And so what he did is he set it wasn't hacking. What it was a sniffer program that would go around, and it would basically be running through their network, just knocking on the doors of, the computers. And if they were open and unprotected, then, he could go in. And the thing is, then, what it was doing is that in the setup of the computers, depending on how the IT guy would do it, they could theoretically on each computer enter an ID code that gave, information about that system that he could see. Well, lucky him, a lot of these computers, because he got back like thousands of returns, but there were a number of them that had that building ID that she had singled out. And so that's where he knew where to go to prioritize his search. And this was over the course of a year, I believe it took him to kind of screw around and do this. And that's where he found this desktop with this image on it.
Crazy. And that's so believable from the government. And it's these little details. And I highly, when this turns into a video, folks, I'll link the description to Richard Dolan's video. And I got a picture here of Donna Hare. It's actually from a video. And this inspires me because it's a YouTube channel, Doomcock, and it's one with 13,000 subscribers, and she's doing an interview, and I don't know if she's still around or not. I mean, it was a couple years ago, but like, I'd love to talk to her. I would love to talk to her. Yeah, so it's and no shade on this guy, like, definitely check out, I don't know about his channel, but it's Mars, Moon, and Space TV. He's got 13,000 subscribers, and there he is. That's Donna Hare. So that's the lady we're talking about, and I've seen.
I think she needs to talk to us.
Yes. I didn't think, you know what? It's like, I guess we could probably get people to come on. I mean, why not? It's, you know, it just hit me right now. Real quick. It's like, I don't want to sound like a brag or anything, but it's like, I'm at 55,000 subscribers. I think I'm at a point where I can maybe ask a couple of people to come on to interview. I think that would be pretty cool. And certainly, hail Lorm Doomcock. Hail Gary. I'm glad the ExoZone is back. $4.99 from Daryl Rayner. We're glad.
Hail Daryl Rayner.
Hail Daryl Rayner. I got to get back to the chat here. I lost the chat for some reason. It froze up on me again. I hate it when it does that. So there's that. And let me get the chat up here. And it gets me thinking about the disclosure thing. And I know it's, God, it looked like there was a time, Doomcock, it looked like it might happen. I think maybe I had just fooled myself into thinking so, or I believed some of the people who were telling us. And there was that 2001 conference with Stephen Greer. And it looked, I mean, and that was a legit attempt. I mean, Stephen Greer's kind of gotten really weird since then, but he did a great job of getting these legit people together, like serious government people. All of them had credentials, and they all had really wildly different stories and data to back it up. And there was politicians there, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, they did that big press conference, you know, lengthy press conference with credentialed people giving testimony, and you know, it just never went anywhere.
No, and it's because the government didn't want it to go anywhere. That's the most unfortunate thing. But they might have their reasons, and I don't need their approval to believe what I believe. And I haven't even seen one. I wish I would have seen a UFO, and maybe I will someday. But it's sometimes it's hard to fathom that there's this big secret space program when a kid from the UK can hack NASA, but everything's so compartmentalized that I can definitely see that there's an agency that's very shadowy and in the know, and then we have a bunch of incompetence in the government. They can both exist at the same time.
Well, I don't really believe that, Gary, because we know from Star Trek Discovery that when you have a top secret, governmental program, they wear a black badge out there and openly talk about it. They go to Russia and openly talk about it too.
They do.
You know, and like they go on the Klingon homeworld, they go into Moscow and stand out in the square and they say, hey, I'm part of, Section 92.
Yeah, they do. And they have a super secret base that's giant, that's run by 4 people, which you have to see. I don't know if you saw last week's episode, but
no, I have not.
Oh my
yet.
God.
But it's just like
tighten your helmet, buddy.
Oh yeah. It's just like in Star Trek Into Dumbness. Where you've got this like super secret base where you're building this hyper super secret destructor, weapon, this big starship that's 5 times the size of the Enterprise or whatever. And you park it around, Jupiter, or Saturn. I know it's Jupiter, in the Terran home system. What has got to be the number 2 biggest tourist spot in the solar system would be Jupiter. And you put your big secret shipyard in orbit around Jupiter, where all the tourists are sure as shit going to photograph it.
Yeah. Hey, we'll hide it behind Jupiter. Nobody will go there.
Yeah, that's right.
Mac.
Exactly. And next stop after Saturn, Jupiter, the second most scenic spot in the fucking solar system.
Everybody goes to Jupiter.
Oh yeah. It's like Rick's Cafe American in space. Everybody goes there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yep. Idiots.
Armchair Warlord for $5. All hail woo woo. Check out my novel, The Maiden's War. Now live on Indiegogo. It's an old style war novel with female heroines done right. Thanks.
Excellent.
I'll hang on. I'll check that out. Armchair Warlord. Hang on. What's it called? It is The Maiden's War. Indiegogo. Indiegogo. Maiden's War.
Yes.
Is it just a
Warlord has spoken to me of this before?
How come I'm not finding it? Hang on.
Oh,
I'm sure it's there. I just
it's
don't
the
know how to
government.
search it. It is the government.
It's all coming together.
The quickening.
The quickening east of the Rockies. Somebody send me a link to that because I'm not finding it, but I might be stupid. So, well, no, there's no might about it. I'm definitely I'm one of those dumb guys with a beard. But yeah, somebody, if one of my wonderful moderators could find me a link to that, I would love to share it. And thank you, Armchair Warlord. Bryce Brierly, $6. Doomcock, please do not do ASMR. I can make this intro a monthly subscription. I can make this into a monthly subscription. Doomcock,
Okay, I will.
ASMR.
If you guys will go to patreon.com/doomcock and subscribe, I will not do the AMDK or whatever it's called.
I think you should listen to a couple of them and do a parody, and I think it would be funny as hell. That's just me.
I can't even imagine.
The Batman. What's up, my friend? 2 pounds. Nerdrotic loves Brie Larson. He just wanted to make me say that. God, for such a low amount, I'll say anything for a couple bucks. Isn't that obvious? I'm a big old sellout. I love Brie Larson. Oh my God. Even though, white men suck. Perpetual punster, $10. Hail Gary and Doomcock and the chat. Woohoo for woo-woo. Had a great weekend hanging out with friends, running steam trains. We're running trains. Steam trains. Now ExoZone to finish the weekend on a high note. Don't be too high, Perpetual Punster. Be excellent to each other. Definitely. We are excellent.
We try to be.
And now I have that on soundboard. Son of a bitch. That's what Batman does, Doomcock. Batman exposes your weaknesses. He keeps them around until he needs them, because you never know when you're going to go like Red Sun Superman. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That's why he's got the kryptonite, bow tie and the brainiac spark plugs that are infected with virus and stuff like that.
I wonder if he's got Doomcock repellent. Spray Doomcock repellent. You don't think they can make that?
No, he's fictional. I'm real.
Okay, that's true.
Batman,
that's
if I ever meet Batman, that'll be weird. Although, there is the account where Julius Schwartz in the 60s was in New York, and he got into a cab and he met Superman. This is true. This is a true story that he swears by, that he got into the cab and Superman was manifested next to him and they had a conversation.
Wow. So
reality is much more malleable than we think. It may have been a tulpa. A tulpa is a kind of a animated thought form. They reference them in Tibet, and so occasionally these things can come into being. But he swears he was not drunk, he was not on drugs. It was in the middle of the day in New York, and he got into a cab, and he met Superman.
That's trippy. And well, you know what? Maybe it's based on I just watched American Gods, and of course the gods are manifested by human belief, and they become real at that point. Once enough people believe in a god, it becomes real and very powerful based on who worship it. Maybe Superman is the true American god, and enough people will used to believe in him where he manifested. Yeah, that's weird, man.
That's right.
Weird stuff.
And just in case that is true, I believe in Dr. Helen Noel in season 1 Star Trek, the Dagger of the Mind. I believe in Dr. Helen Noel with a single-minded passion, and I hope she walks out of my closet right now. And if she does, good night.
A single-minded passion in a single malted brew, and I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. God, she was hot. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm thinking about that now. Hang on, I'll be right back. No,
Dr. Helen Noel.
Brother Malachi for $10. Guys, expect Bill Madden from the Night Terrors YouTube channel to contact you for an ExoZone collab. Wow. Okay.
Nice. Yes, I've got that site right now up on my phone. I've been thinking about giving a listen to that very channel, but usually I have time at night, and I don't really want to listen at night because I'll maybe get spooked. I don't want to get spooked. I have enough trouble sleeping as it is. All I need is something really, really scary before I go to sleep. So I'm kind of been screwed on this, but I have intended to go and check this out, and I think that'd be great. Yes, Night Terrors. I got it right here. Bill Madden hosts. So many things to fear. Yep.
Wow, I got to check that out. I like getting spooked.
Well, that's great. I think that'd be fabulous. We could have them on and do a spooky broadcast.
Excellent. The Batman, of course, gave £2 more and said, now I have that on soundboard. Damn you, Batman. TK, $10. I love ExoZone. So much material from these streams. All hail Gary and Lord Doomcock. Hail to you, TK.
Hail, sir.
Hail. So the Gary McKinnon thing got me thinking about disclosure, which got me thinking about the one thing we didn't really get to go over last night. And that, last time, it was just a little bit on Phil Schneider. Or did we talk about Phil Schneider?
No, we never really talked about Phil Schneider, which was a very interesting case with the Dulce base and a lot of weirdness with him.
I think I'm gonna Phil Schneider, the man behind the alien agenda. Okay, this is a good article here. I'll pull this up in a second. So a quick background and fill in any blanks, please. With Phil Schneider, and he has a pretty popular video that's been going around YouTube for years and years and years, and it's like it's like a prepper convention or something like that, and it's like an old video, and here I'll pop it up and show everybody what it kind of looks like. And he spins the weirdest yarn you've ever heard, and he sounds like he's a fringy guy. We'll just say fringy guy. How's that sound?
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah, but there's a base. It's in New Mexico. It's supposedly underground. It's supposedly an alien base, and they are not here they're here for scientific studies, but they don't care much for us. He speaks of an alien human firefight that happened. He claims to have been injured in it. He has a pretty hardcore injury, but we also have to remember that he did deal in explosives because he was a geologist and did a lot of digging. And so here's the article. That's not him. The guy on top is not Phil Schneider, but he is kind of connected to the whole thing. Phil, I got to make sure I'm like reading a good enough article. Phil believed that there are 7 benevolent alien species currently living on Earth and 4 evil species. The theory further suggests that the U.S. government has signed 4 treaties with the aliens in 1944, 1954, 1962, and 1979. The treaty in 1954 was signed between the government and a species of gray aliens. Phil Schneider was a U.S. government geologist, engineer, and arguably one of the most controversial figures in the world of ufology and extraterrestrial subjects. Phil was born in 1947 and worked for the U.S. government for years. He worked in the field of nuclear medicine, was involved in the Philadelphia experiment. I don't know how that is possible, well as working on
that's weird.
Yeah, see, I think this article is wrong because they're mixing up 2 people. Hey, let me find another one.
Yeah, well, I've heard that about him, but I know that can't really be right. And also, I've heard different versions of this story. I've heard, first of all, he talks about that they were digging and they fell through and came into this alien base. But then I'd also heard that this alien base was already like cohabitated with humans and aliens on different levels, and and then that's when the war erupted, basically, in there. So I've heard different versions of this story, Gary.
I just know the one that he says is he was down there doing work, and that's the one where he fell through, and he got caught up in a firefight, and he pulls up his shirt, and he's got this ginormous injury. I don't know if I can find the part in the video.
And he's missing fingers on his hand that were supposedly melted away in one of the beams that they were firing.
Yes. And you got to keep that in mind. He's missing digits, and that has something to do with his very untimely death quite some time ago now.
Yes, that's right. Under very suspicious circumstances.
I think, and here's the deal with him, folks. His story was talked about on our bell a lot, and people were just kind of 50-50 on it, if that, until he died. And then a lot more people go, hey, wait a minute. Because the way he died, he couldn't have done it because he's missing digits. He was strangled to death in a chair. And I forgot, with a wire or something or other. And there's no way he could have strangled himself to death. But they called it a suicide, of course, because they always do. This from the Trusted Express from the UK. But this, at least they won't get their story confused here. U.S. Delta forces fought with aliens in underground battle in New Mexico. Witness: American forces engaged in a massive firefight with aliens who had established a base deep below New Mexico desert. An eyewitness said as many as 60 soldiers and civilians were killed as the extraterrestrial greys, armed with plasma guns, went toe-to-toe with the U.S. Delta forces in the so-called Dulce battle. The dropping revelations were made by a civil engineer called Phil Schneider, who worked on a secret military projects deep underground in Dulce, Mexico. Mr. Schneider, whose dad Philip was involved in the development of the early atomic bomb, said he had made, so they probably meant his dad was involved in the Philadelphia experiment, has said to have made to sign official secret documents, but later went on to reveal American military was working with the alien race of the Greys, building joint subterranean bases. That picture is not real. Gray aliens are also referred to as Zeta Reticulans, Roswell Greys, or Greys. That's E and A. Okay, folks, there's a difference, man. Can you imagine there's a big war between the Greys, and I'm the E Gray, I'm an A Gray. I don't talk to E Grays. They're subhuman.
Let this be your last battlefield. Can't you see? He's gray on the right side. I'm gray on the left side. Well, you're gray on all sides. Don't get smart with me.
Yeah, buddy. Have become to the accepted faces of aliens on Earth. Almost half of all alien sightings claimed in the U.S. refer to the type of gray alien.
Well, they get around.
They do. The alien gray is also linked directly to the Roswell incident, in which a UFO containing live aliens was allegedly seized by the military in Roswell, which is also in New Mexico. But Mr. Schneider's story took a jaw-dropping turn when he described on one occasion when things turned nasty and resulted in what has become in UFO circles, the Dulce battle. The Dulce battle expert Anthony Sanchez, author of the UFO Highway and the founder of Umbra Research, that's UMBRA Research, a group dedicated to the understanding the hidden aspects and mystery behind the UFO ET phenomenon, said in 1979. He says when they sunk a shaft during some mining expedition to see if they could build a similar subterranean base, they discovered a very old cavern system where the gray extraterrestrials had a base. Schneider said he was confronted by the alien greys and was forced to draw his sidearm and fire. He said he killed two before being hit with some kind of plasma weapon. He escaped, and the military immediately called in special forces. There is a picture here of what I'm guessing is the base. Mr. Sanchez added military units, SEALs, and Delta forces went down there and engaged in the firefight with these tall grays. In all, 60 military personnel and scientists were killed. During the altercation, Mr. Schneider was hit with some sort of plasma weapon, which sheared a portion of his hand. Okay, it was hand. I thought he had a injury on his stomach too.
He has
yeah,
something on his body, but he also lost chunks out of his big, his fingers off his hand, basically.
Yeah. But he added the engineer escaped with data and information, which would subsequently form the basis of stealth cloaking technology. The story, however, has a grisly end, which has fueled conspiracy theories for decades. In 1996, Mr. Schneider was found strangled to death in his apartment. Bizarrely, the cause of death was officially said to be suicide. Yeah. And he's got 2 fingers, so he can't strangle himself to death. It's crazy.
No,
folks.
it's nuts. It's ridiculous. So something weird is going on there. And, I've heard another story. So maybe this is another story about like somebody who worked in an underground base and went down on a level he wasn't supposed to and found all of these like aliens down there, as well as human, like animal and human alien hybrids kept down there in cages or confinement areas and labs. And he, like some of these things being grown in vats, and he did drawings of them and brought them out to the surface. I forget what his name was, but
I know exactly. Yeah, I don't know his name, but I know I've heard that story too.
Yeah,
that clicked in my brain.
Yeah, and I've seen the drawings too. I mean, and there was a lot more material, but I think he also met an untimely demise.
That's interesting. See, that's the thing. That's the guy who said there was humans down there too. That they had,
right. So I think that's what it was. I think it was I think I'm conflating 2 different incidents in my mind.
I wish I could remember who that was. I'll find out.
Yeah, you'll probably be able to figure out. You're a pretty good researcher on that. And it also, so we'll just like lump all this together just as we discuss this stuff. There's that show called Hellier on YouTube. That's a series of, I guess, 7 or 8 videos about Kentucky goblins, or what they've referred to in the hollers of Kentucky as goblins. But appear to be basically alien activity. These aliens are said to live in these caverns, specifically like abandoned coal shafts and stuff that connect to caverns under the ground. And, everybody knows over there that you don't really want to, go near those mine shafts at night because those goblins come out. And long story short, I mean, basically, the investigators are out there kind of looking around for some of this stuff out way in the woods. I mean, way out there. And they kind of stumbled across one of the locations where they'd been told that there was activity, and they went into this thing, and they went inside and were halted by a slab that blocked off the rest of the entrance. That they couldn't go any further. There was a tiny little opening at the very top of the thing. But the weird part about it was that clearly this slab had to have been placed there, because there was no natural way that this solid piece of, rock would be so perfectly blocking this entrance, except for a little bit at the top, which would have been small enough for like a child to get out of. Haha. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of weirdness on that show. I recommend that show, Hellier. It's pretty good.
I'm looking at it right now. It's on Planet Weird or something like that.
Yeah, Planet Weird. And this man, basically, these guys were Ghostbusters. These guys, when they were kids, they had a YouTube channel where they would do, ghost investigations and stuff. And it wasn't entirely serious. It was like a fun thing that they were doing when they were, 12 and 13 and stuff. And over the years, they kind of stopped doing it, but they left the site up and they left their emails up and stuff like that. And this guy contacted them one day and said, I'm hoping you can help me. I've been referred to you, which was weird. And they said that this guy said that my family for the past, several months have been tormented by these goblins that come at night and do all this stuff on my ranch, and recently they've started peering in through the window at my kids while they're in bed, and it's just kind of gotten out of hand, and we would really like someone to come down here and investigate. And that's kind of the story, the setup. I mean, it's really interesting.
Oh man, I want to watch this right now. That is cool. I love it. The Kentucky woods. Well, it might be just some good old boys out there.
Might be just some mutated banjo players. We got a lot of them out there. The inbreeding, they kind of drop out there and they're just kind of running around, and sure, they got pointy ears and weird big old owl eyes, but hell, that's just genetic drift.
They can pluck that banjo though. God
that's
damn.
right. Woo, doggy.
Wow. Yeah. Planet Weird. How weird.
But basically, it seems like there's aliens underground.
Yes. Well, and this goes way back. I mean, it was the Hopi, right, who said that the ant people came up. That's during right around their flood myth. There's a group of people who came from underground, and they're known as the ant people. They even have like cave paintings of them. Maybe I can find them. And this would go into that as well. I don't know if it's the Hopi though.
Maybe the Navajo.
Yeah, people.
Maybe but it might be the Hopi.
Yeah, it's the Hopi. The ant people, the Hopi. Okay. Here it is. I'm gonna pull it up.
Ant people.
Yeah. I don't know about this drawing, but what the hell? Here we go. Come on. Click. Golly. Everything's going slow.
They look like leprechauns.
They do. Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, by the way. Everybody.
Oh, yes. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Ant people. Well, faith and begorra.
The Hope. Oh, boy. Hang on. There we go. The Hopi Indians have lived in the high desert of northern Arizona for thousands of years. This barren but beautiful landscape was the place where the Hopi gods directed them to build a number of villages made up of pueblos. What we today would call stone apartment complexes. Here are the Hopi managed to flourish and by simply growing corn, beans, and squash, and very little rainfall among almost no irrigation. One of the most intriguing Hopi legends involves the ant people, who were crucial to the survival of the Hopi. Not just once, but twice. The so-called First World or World Age was apparently destroyed by fire, possibly some sort of volcanism, asteroid strike, or coronal mass ejection from the sun. The Second World was destroyed by ice age glaciers, or a pole shift. During these two global cataclysms, the virtuous members of the Hopi tribe were guided by an odd-shaped cloud during the day and a moving star at night, and it led them to the sky god named Sadukeng, who finally took them to the ant people in Hopi Anu Sinam. Anu, that's weird.
Anunnaki.
Anu. That's weird though, because you're right. The Anunnaki, east of the Rockies. The ant people then escorted the Hopi into subterranean caves where they found refuge and sustenance. In this legend, the ant people are portrayed as generous and industrious, giving the Hopi food when supplies ran short and teaching them the merits of good storage. In fact, another legend says that the reason why the ants have such thin waists today is because they once deprived themselves of provisions in order to feed the Hopi. I was going to say feed on the Hopi. I'm like, that's not very nice. But
well, that's a different movie.
Yeah, that is. The constellation Orion also has a thin waist. When Orion dominates the winter skies, the ants are deep in their small underground hills. These structures are similar to form the Hopi kivas, which are subterranean communal prayer chambers. Coincidentally, the Sanskrit word ki means anthill and va means dwelling. Oh, that's interesting. Each February, inside their kivas, the Hopi perform the bean sprouting ceremony. God, I'm missing everything. I'm missing the bean sprouting ceremony, or bean dance called pawama. During the time, these fires are continuously kept ablaze, turning these structures into superb hot houses. The ritual commemorates a time when the Anu Sinam, the ant people, taught the Hopi how to sprout beans inside caverns in order to survive. It is interesting to note that the Babylonian sky god was named Anu. The Hopi word for ant is also Anu, and the Hopi root word Naki means friends.
Well,
there you go. It's all answered right here on the ExoZone.
It's all coming together, sir.
It's the quickening. The Hopi Anunnaki, or ant friends, which is way better than super friends, may have been the same as the Sumerian Anunnaki, the beings who once came to Earth from the heavens. Wow.
yeah. Well, and we've looped around. We've looped around to to Zechariah St. John.
It's all connected to Zechariah.
It is all connected. It is all roads lead to Rome, and all ExoZone paths lead underground to alien bases. It's just the way it is. But it's very interesting, and the Dulce thing really has entered the popular mythology. Grant Morrison referenced that incident in The Invisibles.
Yep.
When he did that, he had King Mob going down into the Dulce base, and DMT trips, and seeing the machine elves in the other dimension. Lots of weirdness going on, Gary.
There is, man. I gotta crack open my Invisibles. It's been a long time since I read that. The Doom Patrol show is kind of following his path a little bit, which I'm enjoying quite a bit, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother with Wikipedia. Probably just says it's all fake.
Yeah, of course, that's their standard thing now. Although, really, if it was a Wikipedia of the people, it wouldn't say that. So it's being manipulated by, I don't know, ant people in government. I don't know.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Oh, wow. Am I missing hang on. $60 super chat from Jared White. Star Trek Discovery is cooked. And you guys need to get away from what's X? I don't know. What's a /X/? Do you know what that is?
A /X/.
And he said, get away from. It's probably some internet speak that I am unaware of.
No, I'm not sure, but I know that Star Trek Discovery is a goddamn abomination. And,
it is.
What I'm going to be trying to do this week is catching up with several more reviews. Really like hammering this shit. It's time that Doomcock once again, mounted the stage and destroyed this shit. So I'm going to be slamming it pretty hard this week.
Good. I look forward to it. Yeah, I'm not done with it yet either. I have another video in the works just from because I missed a couple of recaps, and it really sucks. The 2 previous episodes, I really should have done breakdowns on those, because what they've done to Spock is
yeah, I just saw If Memory Serves, and it didn't. It didn't.
No.
It didn't serve them at all. Even though they had the actual clips from the cage in the opening, apparently they didn't watch their own opening, because, well, that's not really the Telosians. That's not really what happened. It's ridiculous.
Nope. And it's basic knowledge. Like I said in my breakdown, it as each episode airs, it is clear that the writers watch YouTube clips on Star Trek. That's about as far as it goes. They're like, oh, he played chess with Kirk once. Let's break out the chessboard. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
And the first time we see Sarek and Spock in the same room, we got to mention the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And it's fucking really.
Oh no, we got to have it be that Mikey Spock made that up. So Mikey Spock was the first to say that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, you have said it, and many other people have said it, and I said it in jest that she's going to teach Spock how to be a better Spock. And my God, that's what's actually happening. That's how boringly predictable this writing is. It's so tall.
Yep. I'm going to savage this shit. It's time. I got distracted by Captain Marvel and Alita and all that stuff. It's time to return. Got to get back to the land and set my soul free.
Yeah.
In their ass.
I got one more Captain Marvel video coming out in the morning, but it's more about the media than the Captain Marvel. Jared White, yeah, tell me what that means, because I feel like an old man now that I don't know. Because I definitely, if you're warning me against something, I want to know about it. You better get away from what? Don't press that button or what? Especially for $60, Jared. Thank you, Jared. Alexis Valens. What's up? Are you covering any of remote viewing? Oh, yes, we could talk about remote viewing. Different note, look into the pre-Columbian transoceanic contact theories, cocaine mummies. Yes, I love the cocaine mummies, and I used to really love cocaine. So yes, but I don't anymore. It's a is 4chan ExoZone? Okay. It's the 4chan ExoZone. Gotcha. Okay. Stay away from the 4chan ExoZone. We cover everything here. Now, we should probably do our little preamble. We should have done that beforehand. But we cover all kinds of subjects here, but I present nothing as fact. Neither does Doomcock. We just simply entertain the possibility. This is a fun night of conversation. And hey, isn't this weird kind of stuff? So
yeah, exactly. And also I got a message from somebody who said, I was liking the ExoZone, but then this person was angry at me and said they weren't going to watch anymore because I was making fun of Bigfoot. And here's the thing, guys. I'm not mocking anything that we talk about when I go for a laugh or make a witty bon mot or a wisecrack. I'm not expressing any disbelief. It's just a funny line that pops into my head. I love William Shatner, and I make fun of William Shatner all the time. I do impressions of William Shatner, and, I wouldn't be able to do Shatner if I didn't have a great affection for Shatner. Same thing with Bigfoot and UFOs. I've publicly said here that I'm very open to all of these, the reality of all of these things, and there's no way that I would know all that I do about these topics if I was not fascinated by them and take them seriously. Now, none of these things has been proven to my satisfaction beyond a shadow of a doubt, other than I believe that there are either extra-dimensional or extraterrestrial craft visiting this planet. There's just a preponderance of evidence. I've just seen too goddamn many weird things, videos, photos, stories. I just think something is for sure going on there, but I don't know what. I don't presume to have any definitive evidence of it. And beyond that, things like, cryptozoology or Bigfoot, Nessie. Well, God bless Nessie. I think Nessie's done. I don't believe in Nessie anymore. I want to believe in all of this stuff, but I keep an open mind. And if I make a wisecrack, it's just because we're having fun here, but it doesn't mean any disrespect. That's what I think I'm saying.
Absolutely not. And we guys, we tend to give each other shit, and but it's completely out of love. It's complete. And Mark Hod and Tinfoil Hats, thank you for passing on that information. Telling me that is the now I have to go there. It's like it's the paranormal part of 4chan. So there you go. I'm 50, so I don't think I'm allowed on 4chan anymore, or I'm almost 50, but that's
what color is your palm crystal? If it's not blinking red, you're still good to go.
It's not blinking red yet, but
well, it's not black, is it?
If it's no, it's not black, but there is no sanctuary.
What?
There is no sanctuary. Sorry.
Actually, there is a great sanctuary. It was named Jenny Agater, and she was naked
Ah.
underneath that little diaphanous gown. And to me, that's all the sanctuary Doomcock needs.
There
He
is
would have
no more
stayed there. He would have been
puberty.
happy.
Puberty happened like that. Watching, oh man, I used to love watching that on KTLA because they would like really screw up on the edits on the television version on that. And
Nice.
the other reason
Good
I used to watch
God.
Benny Hill too, because they would mess up on the edits on that too. But thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the super chat. Okay. Remote viewing is something I thought was poppycock. And then I looked more into it, learned kind of what it is. And I just had basic knowledge. So to me, it sounded like it's just some woo-woo ESP hippie shit, but it's not. It's something that the government seriously worked on for a long, long time, not just a couple of years, like years and years. And they still have some, they supposedly cut the program off, but they're still really using it. And there's been a guy, I'm forgetting his name now, going around on all the channels, on Richard Dolan, on Secure Team, giving an interview. And he was part of a 5-year documentary where the guy who was making the documentary followed this dude around for 5 years.
Wow.
And had breakfast with them and stuff. And he basically was a hippie, but he was involved with the government. They worked on remote viewing. To give you Cliff Notes version of remote viewing, everybody, supposedly anybody can do it. You can be trained how to do it. And it's basically linking into the human internet of all things, the Akashic record, and you can see future, past, present. And what you do is you connect to it, you draw pictures of it, and they mainly use it to find the government was using it to find missile bases in China and in Russia, and they were using it successfully. And for testing around, it was Uri Geller. So I know a lot of people are like, woo, Uri Geller, but he was really good at this apparently. And they would use it to find missing persons. It's not perfect. You can't, it does, like all things human, it doesn't work all the time. And it tends to work better when you just start out, but once you start figuring out, you get worse at it. It's bizarre. But they tell the story in this documentary of, they did the tests around here in the Bay Area where they would send a guy off somewhere in Redwood City, which is south of me a little bit. And a woman came in who was a friend of the guy running the project, and she was a photographer, and she's like, oh, this would be fun, and we'll run a psychic test, but I've never been psychic. I'm just doing it because I'm getting paid to do it. It's fun, whatever. And she ended up finding this guy like all the time, and they gave her like 10 tests, and she got 9 of the 10 correct, which was finding a person who was randomly plopped in the Bay Area. And she did it so like there's these rings over him, and she said, yeah, he's standing in a place with a bunch of rings over him, and it turns out the guy was on a pedestrian a bridge, so it had the suspension stuff over him. And it's fascinating. They get into some real woo-woo, but apparently it was Uri Geller who was able to observe stuff on planets that got confirmed later, like with Saturn. I can't remember what it was though. I got to look it up.
I don't think it was Uri Geller. I think it was a guy named Ingo Swann.
Sorry, Ingo Swann. My bad. You're right.
Uri Geller's a fake.
Uri Geller was the spoon guy, right?
Yeah, he's a phony.
Ingo Swann was the artist. Yeah, I get them mixed up. So they both have weird names.
Yeah, they definitely do. And yeah, Ingo apparently was pretty good at this stuff. Now, I know Major Ed Ames. He used to always be on Coast to Coast AM with Major Ed Ames.
Yeah,
Doctor of Doom, where he would prophesy all this stuff that never came to pass. He was a phony.
Ed Ames was a total phony. And every time he got called out, God bless Art Bell, he would have him on going, so why didn't this happen? And then he'd just think of some excuse.
And then he'd come up with something else all outrageous, and Art, of course, would roll with it. It's all coming together. It's as I said. So it was kind of funny.
But the funny thing was, throughout this whole documentary, I was waiting for his name to be brought up, and his name's never brought up, ever. So I don't know if he was ever part of it or not.
I think he was, because I think he was. I read the book, The Men Who Stare at Goats, by John, what's his name? I forget his name, but I believe that Ed Ames was mentioned in that book. So I think he was there. I just don't think he was very good at it.
Was he? Yes. So he was a consultant on that movie, right?
I don't know if he consulted on that movie. He may have, because God knows he was hustling this stuff. He was always hustling. But I don't think he was really, he was there, but he wasn't the real deal as far as I can tell.
Yep. And if you go to his website, he's got call us 186 to join our live. You need live support for remote viewing. Do you 1-866-607-8439? We can help you see the rings of Saturn.
Actually, I'd like to call him up and say, I'd like you to help me remote view. And then he'd say, well, what are you wearing? And I would say, don't you know?
Yeah. Well, obviously a metal mask.
Psychic phone sex line. So what am I doing now? Tell me.
Dr. Meatball, I love cryptozoology. So to round back to Bigfoot, because Doomcock and I were discussing this prior to the live stream, that I think I've come back around, because I was the one who said, I'm not sure I believe in Bigfoot anymore. And it kills me to say that. But I think I've come back around into believing in Bigfoot. I still think Bigfoot could be out there, because after I said that, I did some searching. And I was like, well, you don't hear about sightings anymore, but you do. It's just not popular anymore, but you still hear sightings every single day. And I was telling Doomcock, I was bored one night because I couldn't sleep because of my back pain. So I'm up in the middle of the night, and I like to look at Google Maps because I'm weird. And I just go over Google Maps for like 3 hours because hopefully it'd put me to sleep, but it didn't. And I was just looking at just how much land we are not on, and just here in Northern California, how much forest there is, just untouched forest. Something could be in there. It's a possibility. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, they've been all over Loch Ness, and sadly, I just don't think there's anything there. But certainly there could be something lurking in those woods out there. And I think that's exciting.
I do too. And the Bigfoot did fight the $6 million man. And that was one of the greatest hours of television I ever witnessed as a child. It filled me with so much joy. And then you find out the spoilers. Bigfoot's not real. He's bionic. Which kind of bummed me out. It did. There was also Bigfoot and Wild Boy back in the day. I love Bigfoot. Yeah. And there's so much. If you go up to Northern California, there's a whole cottage industry of Bigfoot. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, sure. But he could definitely, there's enough evidence out there that makes me think it might well be real. And, like they had that famous footage of Bigfoot walking, towards the tree line, that famous footage that Mulder is suspiciously maybe masturbating to, and Jose Chung is from outer space in that wonderful, hilarious episode at the end. But that guy, remember?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
He was squatching in a way that we really shouldn't squatch. And this guy came forward and said, oh, it was me. I did this. I hired the suit out, or like these guys hired the suit from me. I think that's what it was. But you look at that footage, that sure shit does not look like a suit. I mean, the way that the muscles move and everything, I think that's real footage. I don't know. I think that guy's, full of it, or I don't know.
Let's take a look at the footage, shall we? This is it, right? Patterson Gimlin Bigfoot film complete version. And
yeah,
they should really remaster this. Who is calling me? Jesus!
Wow, I thought that was Bigfoot.
It's my Venture Brothers ringtone.
Bigfoot was calling you, saying, "Hey, knock it off."
Hey, dude.
Well, that's a horse in a burrow or something.
Yeah. Been through the desert on a horse with no name. Are we gonna get to the damn Bigfoot here? Jesus, hang on.
So was this like all
There it
like?
is.
Oh, there's more to the film than what we usually see.
Yeah, this is the full version.
Oh, very interesting.
I've never seen the full version there.
I've never seen it either.
This is in what, 66?
Something like that. Yeah.
Three years before I was born. Wow, it's kind of nice out there. What you can see.
Yeah.
I've never seen the lead up to this. I wonder what it was.
Wow, this seems like it adds credibility to me. Like they were out there, I don't know, shooting themselves, riding horses.
And there's a point where he starts running. I know that it's all jerky, and then it comes up, and then there's this guy. I mean, like, what the hell are you doing filming all this anyway?
I don't know. Maybe this is the original Brokeback Mountain, and they were, out there exploring their love, and this was a, kind of a home movie, and Sasquatch was out there saying, "What are them boys doing?"
You saying Sasquatch is the daddy bear?
I think maybe Sasquatch was like, "Holy crap! You see what them boys are doing?"
Oh,
this was in the '60s, and Bigfoot wasn't as sophisticated back then.
Here we go. There it is, right there. Boom, boom, boom.
And actually, this is kind of badly pixelated. I've seen clearer.
I'm trying to see what it looks like to you guys. He's getting closer. I'll try to find clear. There it is.
Oh yeah, this is a very pixelated.
Yeah, you can't see. There's much better than that. Hang on. Let me try to find.
But that's interesting.
A remaster, because I know they remastered it a couple times, folks. But hang on, let's find high res Patterson film. High res Patterson. Talk amongst yourselves.
And MK Ultra was telling me before this that he had a idea or a theory about Bigfoot and why Bigfoot has managed to elude us all this time. He had this realization that he was going to talk about. And he's also saying in the chat, MK Davis has the high quality 4K remaster. Interesting.
Who has it?
MK Davis, it says. MK Ultra is telling us that MK Davis has high quality 4K remaster of the footage.
There it is.
So you mean that footage still exists out there? That's interesting. Like the original 8mm film.
And it looks like they. Oh wow.
And APOC 003 says find the stabilized version. Mike Brown says Bigfoot is a master of hide and seek. And Bigfoot's a shapeshifter, aka a skinwalker, says Pug Tortuga. APOC 003 says that film was perfect. Bigfoot is naturally blurry. So you're saying that Bigfoot, the way that Bigfoot manifests, he has a natural blurry quality. Interesting.
Okay, here's stills. Here's like stills that are a lot clearer. And it's definitely a girl. That's something I didn't know for the longest time. That this, it's a girl.
I've never seen. Oh yeah, well that's why Mulder.
Yep.
I wasn't implying Mulder was gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
When he was jerking off to Sasquatch, I think he, think he wanted to get back to the land and set his soul free. That's going to be a common theme tonight. I think. I don't know why it's in my head, but Jesus.
Yeah.
She needs some nair.
She does.
Man, that's no suit.
No, because I remember seeing the muscles ripple right here.
Yeah.
But I'm too busy looking at her boobs. No, I'm just kidding.
Uh-oh, Gary gets kind of quiet. I don't blame Mulder. I don't blame him at all. Kid Galaxy says Amy Schumer. Oh, unkind. Oh, now.
Oh, how dare you say that about Bigfoot?
MK Ultra says they've overlaid all known original copies in Master of Patty and pulled as much detail as possible. So
green on me.
I don't know. Day Bob. Damn it, Gary. Now I can't get horse with no name out of my head.
Oh, sorry.
La 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 la.
God, I can't stand them either. And I've seen them live too. I know a lot of people love them, but
You don't like America? I love America.
Well, I like that song. It reminds me of Crosby, Stills and Nash, and I'm not the biggest fan of them. And
holy shit.
I know, but I've seen
Crosby,
them.
Stills and Nash. Man, damn. Guinevere and oh man, Marrakesh Express. I love Marrakesh Express.
I like that punk rock, man.
Well, I like them too, but you know.
I love this big Patterson Bigfoot film, stabilized, slow and smooth. Here it is.
It's perfect for freeze framing on those perfect frames, you know, and then you're gonna have creeper vids, you know, you're gonna have like the 2 minutes, 13 seconds, frame 49. No.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
No, that is pretty good.
I feel like I'm watching
stabilized,
Paul
slow,
Greengrass film.
Walk it down, walk it down.
I could do that with my bass right now. I still need to stabilize it, so I did, and here it is. Okay, fine. I get you.
He wants to show off.
Whoa.
Oh, that is good. A little slower and a lot smoother.
A lot smoother. There we go.
This is Velvet Doomcock coming to you live over the airwaves. Are you feeling sexy out there tonight?
A little slower still, smooth and zoomed.
I'm gonna zoom in. Look at that wiggle action.
And finally,
Sasquatch lady with a pretty face and a ponytail. Ow, jiggle in the walk and a giggle in the talk. Ow!
You can't fake.
Wow, look at
you
that.
can't fake those butt cheeks.
Nope. Man.
Dang. There it is. Bigfoot, stabilized, slow and smooth.
Well, it's certainly big butt. I don't know if it's big foot, but it's big butt.
I like big.
Hard to look at the feet.
Lie. Yeah. Let's get back to the chat. See if anybody's still here.
Don Cornelius. That's right.
Don Fuentes. What are my favorite bands? Well, what are my favorite bands? Subhumans, Dead Kennedys. But I like a lot of music. Johnny Cash is probably my favorite single artist. Yeah, I like Descendants, SNFU. These are all my punk rock bands that I used to listen to. MDC, Crass. Yeah, good stuff. But I like some hippie music. I like a lot of classic rock. I like tons of it. I don't know why. Like if it was Steven Stills singing by himself, I can handle. It's the high pitched guy I can't handle for some reason. The
David
mods
Crosby?
yeah, was it David Crosby? Yeah. Although I like him, he's such a rebel and nut. I kind of like him, but social unrest. We don't want social unrest. F minus is they're a punk rock band from 2000s. They're all girl. They were great. F minus. But I also love Reverend Horton Heat. It's one of my favorite all-time bands. I've seen him 35 times. Social Distortion, Bad Religion. Yes, I like Crass is hard to listen to, but you got to be really into like, I don't know if I could listen to Crass sober, to be honest with you. But I like their concept. They all lived in a house and everybody could just live there. It was like an art, the Crass house. Sasquatch shot JFK. Oh man, I still got to see that movie. Doomcock.
Yeah, I know. I got to see it too. And I love the Samuel Kahn talking about I didn't know Zapruder shot, Bigfoot footage. I love that. That's very funny.
I was going to say Zapruder shot Bigfoot. Why? No. Okay, of course, Black Flag, Henry Rollins. Henry Rollins, there's the show Deadly Class, which it's pretty good. It's kind of political though, but it's kind of like a Harry Potter for assassins. And Henry Rollins plays the potions master, which was cool. Oingo Boingo, one of my all-time favorites. I mean, the first 3 albums are pure genius. Oingo Boingo, yes. Yeah, I liked Adamant. I did. Love the Damned. Love the Damned. I've seen the Damned many times. I just saw Peter Murphy. I don't know if you're into Bauhaus at all, Doomcock, but just saw Peter Murphy. He was great.
Oh yeah.
Bela
Lugosi's dead.
Yes.
I'm dead.
I'm dead. That should be our theme. It's very
That's
easy
right.
to play.
The bats have left the bell tower. The victims have been bled velvet lines. The black box. Bela
Lugosi's dead.
Bela Lugosi's dead.
Tuning in for the ExoZone has turned into Smooth the Zoom pornographic zoo film. Yes, it has. Cryptozoology. That's what we're into. All about the bubble gum. Thank you for the $5. Excuse me. AFI. Hey, the lead singer of AFI came into my comic store quite a few times. Jedi Knight and friend to Captain Solo. Yeah, Bauhaus. Bauhaus is 40 years old, people. You want to feel old? Bauhaus is 40 effing years old. The Buzzcocks are great. I saw the Buzzcocks at Coachella, Tiki of Doom. Elfman, seriously? Yes. Before he turned into a sound. No, I mean, I know people love his soundtracks, and I do too, but he was much better as a lead singer of Boingo Boingo.
Tolfer. I love the Cramps. I've seen them twice. I saw them at the House of Blues in Los Angeles on Halloween night, and it was a hell of a thing. And it was great, but I love the Cramps. Well, I'm a human fly. I spell it F-L-Y. I say buzz, 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 and it's just because I'm an unzipped fly. I don't know why. I got 96 tears and 96 signs.
Fuck yeah. I saw, oh God, I was lucky to see them right before Lux Interior left this mortal coil.
Oh yes,
sad day. That was a sad day. The Cramps were the best.
They were. It was fantastic. Like he was singing there, and Poison Ivy was just playing the guitar. She was masked in a cat mask, kind of a cat eye, like Catwoman in a cat suit, and all the women in the audience were feeling him up as he was like singing this song, and she was completely impassive, as she should be. It was just pretty goddamn amazing.
Fuck, that's awesome. His pants were always halfway down his ass, kind of like Iggy Pop. They were both Go Bordello. Yes, I've seen Go Bordello as well at Coachella. They were crazy. I'd honestly not heard of them until I saw them at Coachella, back when Coachella was somewhat cool and not super douchey. But the Pixies are one of my all-time favorite bands, and so are the Breeders. Kim Deal is I love her. Angry Samoans are awesome. Yeah, I used to be just as into music as I was into comic books. I worked in record stores my adolescent life. Okay. I need to have a drink. Hang on.
Silhouetted Animator says, my dad saw a big towering figure behind a shed back in the 70s. It was near Lake Worth. He didn't know, but I looked up cryptids near that area, and it had to have been the Lake Worth monster. I love that. I've heard some fantastic stories from my legionnaires and villains and rogues and vagabonds at some of my Doomcock roundtables. Incredible stories that eerie things. It's an amazing portion of my people that have seen stuff like this. I never have. I've just never seen it. but they have.
I know, and I have been out in the woods a bunch up here in Northern California. When I was young, I used to fight fires up here. I worked with the CDF and fought fires. Never saw a damn thing. Saw people who saw stuff. I missed one. It was on a fire. We were up here. We were trapped up here for days, and where we were like sleeping outside and stuff. And yeah, a couple of the guys came back and said, we saw one. I'm like, son of a bitch. I ran out there. Didn't see a damn thing. I don't see anything. It sucks. I want to, but I think they do that on purpose. I think they seriously do it on purpose. Quarter flash. Jolton Burrow likes quarter flash. That's funny. I like quarter flash. All right.
I like Harden My Heart. I think that's a good song.
Harden My Heart. Yeah, that's a good song. Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't compare to Here We Come, We're Coming Fast. All the others are in the past. Jump to your feet, let us get you high with the green fuzz.
Damn, he's good, folks.
I'm possessed by poison, by Rorschach. Holy shit.
Rorschach. Oh, man. Music used to be good, folks. It's sad what's happened to it. It's
that auto-tune shit now, the synthetic crap, garbage.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be a popular opinion, but yeah, the music industry blew it by not playing ball with God, I'm blanking on the Napster.
What was it? Yeah.
It's Napster. I mean, really goes back that far. If they would have played ball with it, it would have been a different story, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And it's sad. And we just moved on to different things, and it's not as important anymore. And music used to be sophisticated. There used to be concept albums there. And that stuff's still going on. It's not like it's gone, but are we getting the best of the best anymore in music? No, they're probably going off and learning the code or something. I don't know. But in Anchorage at night, a triangle aircraft flew over me. Brightest light ever seen on underbelly, showing the shape of aircraft. Perfect triangle going 3,000 to 5,000 miles per hour at 10,000 feet high. No sonic boom, silent, not human tech. Says Raymond Hengehold for 1999. The triangle, is it the TR3?
Yeah, the TR3B.
3B. That's fascinating because we see that that's the most seen UFO everywhere. So, and it's the one, but it goes way back. That's a giant. It wasn't a triangle. No, it was more like a boomerang, right? That flew. What was the Phoenix Lights? It was a boomerangy thing.
It was allegedly a boomerang, and we saw the triangle in Belgium. That incredible picture taken in Belgium. I think it was in early 80s. It might have been 1980 or 90. Shit, I can't remember. I think it was. My gut tells me it was
80s, late 80s. Because I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, and so look. They say that there's these patents out for the TR3B, that these are government craft. I don't know. I just don't know if I'm convinced. I think that if the government was convinced that we were about to be beset with a ton of these triangular UFOs, they might just well say, "Oh, well, it's us," and let these stories slip that they're have these things themselves. I just don't know. I just don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either. I'm trying to find Secure Team's video that he put out 2 weeks ago that showed old footage of one of this boomerang UFO that I had never seen. That was great. Just to pass along this a little, I don't want to get into it too much, folks, but Secure Team did put out a video about searching for UFO videos now on YouTube, and apparently it's a lot harder. Because of the change of the algorithm, which sucks. But Secure Team did a video on it. Check it out. Yeah. God damn it. Like I'm doing it now and it's showing me videos from 8 years ago.
Oh man, they really screwed up.
Fucking YouTube, don't do this. Freaking morons.
DJ Bowman says, what if there is a secret UFO base under my house? Invite me over. If there is, I'd love to see it.
That would explain a lot, DJ, about you. I would tell you that right now. Just knowing what I know, DJ. Now, I won't say too much. Is this it? No. Oh my God. I was on Ethan Vance, at one of Ethan's streams. And you know who pops in the fucking chat? Third Phase Moon. Have you heard of Third Phase Moon? They're the other UFO channel.
No,
A couple of kids in Hawaii. I've been watching them forever. Yeah, they popped up.
Oh
in the chat.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
They're shall we? How am I nice about this? They're not as discriminatory as Secure Team is. Secure Team's like he doesn't throw just anything up. I mean,
no, I know.
Yeah, these guys will throw anything up.
Yeah, they will.
Damn it. I'm looking for this because it showed a really cool like boomerang UFO traveling like a boomerang, spinning. And I'd never seen it before. And it's old NASA footage from the shuttle. Where the hell?
Oh yeah, lots of weird shit out there. The shuttle picks up a lot of stuff. No question about it.
Here it is. I think this is it. Give me just a second, folks. Yeah. Let me just test it out. God, that's a clear picture.
Talk about the secret space.
There it is. Oh, there it is.
Leopard.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to share this. The secret space program. Speaking of the secret space program, hang on. I need a drink. Hang on just a second.
Did this really just happen above Earth?
Above Earth. Here we are sharing people's videos. I'm sure they don't care. Let me.
Well, if you just play a little short.
There it is, right there.
Oh, look at that.
That was cool. Hang on, I'll do it again. And here it comes. What the fuck? What was that?
That's weird.
There it is. Yeah. Now that maybe it's a piece of space junk, but
well, it looks like it's flapping, or it actually is a boomerang and it's been thrown. You know, that's weird.
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That is strange. I don't know what the hell that is. Australians says I am CIA. Australians.
Armchair Warlord. The mods posted the link for my book earlier. Hail. Hey, cool. Thanks, man. And women. I will check it out. Any thoughts on the Halo drive? I have no thoughts on the Halo drive. What's the Halo drive?
I don't either. But there is a lot of space debris, and I mean, that could have been anything. I don't know. That was interesting. I mean, it looked vaguely like a boomerang, but I mean, I've never heard of them actually flying like they were thrown by an Aboriginal. Okay. I don't know.
This Halo drive. Here it is. Halo drive. Lasers and black holes could launch spaceships to near light speed. The visualization shows merging black holes whose great speed could provide a boost to laser light swinging around them. Future spaceships could use black holes as powerful launch pads to explore the stars. I don't know if that's a good idea. I thought everything got sucked into a black hole.
Well, yeah, they do. They do.
A new study envisions firing laser beams that would curve around a black hole and come back with added energy to help propel a spacecraft to near the speed of light. Astronomers could look for signs that alien civilizations are using such a halo drive, as the study dubs it, by seeing if pairs of black holes are merging more often than expected. That's certainly interesting. But the thing I always think about, if they are an advanced civilization and we clever people think that we have figured out how they have traveled, then they've already thought of that and they're well past it. So, I mean, That's the other thing is like our science. If there's a spacefaring civilization that's running around out there going faster than speed of light, unless of course they send one of their scientists down here to invent a steam engine or something like in Captain Marvel, and they're way ahead of us. They're probably not using engines at all. They're probably using portals of some kind, or who knows, man. Just they're way ahead of us. That's the thing is our science isn't going to catch up with them anytime soon.
No, they're folding space because of the Spice Guild,
Yes.
something like that. Something like that. It's not going to be this primitive ass shit,
No.
I mean, something
No.
we don't even understand at all.
No, we don't need to understand our own past. We don't. We understand so little about our own past, and we think we could. Yeah, that's funny.
But I goddamn well guarantee you, they're not using mushrooms and spores. I absolutely guarantee you, they are not traveling instantaneously throughout the universe on a mycelial network.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
It is really dumb. It's funny. I mean, what point are you at with that show? Because I'm at mockery. I mean, I just mock. I don't expect. I don't know. I was never under the impression I was going to be able to do anything other than be a place where the fans can come and commiserate. That's it. Where there's not much we can do. What they have done to Star Trek fandom is part of it. Part of the problem with Star Trek is it was aging out anyway. And then there's a portion of the fandom who's so hardcore they're going to like whatever, or they're going to try to like whatever, and bless them for trying. I don't blame them for that. But then there's not many fans left of Star Trek. That's the problem. It's not like a Star Wars fandom. It's not huge. It's very passionate, but it's not huge, and it allows them to get away with stuff like this, and they're going to keep getting away with it until it's dead, which could be any minute now. Did you see that big article today about kind of backing up what the source says, that the Picard series isn't going to be on Netflix? It's going to be on internationally. It's not going to be on Netflix at all. And there's a bunch of moving around, and they're freaking out now. They're God, I forgot. Oh, I don't want to pull it up, talk too much about it. But yeah, there's a big article that came out today talking. The CEO of CBS All Access came out and said, again, we have 8 million subscribers, but he has a lengthy conversation about paused subscribers, which means subscribers who unsubscribed, which means they're not subscribers anymore. but he uses the language paused subscribers about people who unsubscribed. So
they're only paused. They're only paused.
God.
It's like Abraham Lincoln is a paused president.
Yeah.
We
just gotta hit the button.
He'll be back.
He'll be back. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me because it's like I said, and everyone was giving me shit for it, but I said it, that they do not have 8,000 subscribers. They were padding the numbers to make it look better for investors and so on. But then I think they got the memo from somebody that, oh shit, when you do that, it actually could be criminal. And so, oh shit.
Yep.
So now they're saying, well, we meant paused subscribers. Oh, so that figure now, now that the May, stockholder meeting is coming, I guess they're thinking they better, clarify.
And they changed it twice, Doomcock. They changed it twice because, okay, they said they had 8 million subscribers. You said they didn't. And then they came back and said, no. Oh, we've got 4 million. And then Showtime has 4 million. So they don't have 8 million. CBS All Access has 4 million. And they're combining it with Showtime to put the books. Okay. CBS All Access is not Showtime. They might be owned by the same company, but they're not the same thing. And what subscribers are you talking about? Subscribers through an app or cable, or I mean, like it could be anything. And yeah, in that article, shit, one of us will probably do a video on it. In that article, there's a whole paragraph on paused subscribers, which, yeah, that should tell you everything. Yeah, they're full of shit.
Well, and they were counting, from what I understand, they were counting subscribers who really weren't, who were doing the free trial.
Yep.
They had spent like $1 million trying to drum up free trials. And then right when the free trials were, I guess, at the height of their free trialitude, they're saying, yep, 8 million. And and of course, then immediately it drops back down to 2 or 3.
And they were able to manipulate that to, I mean, we get way in the weeds on this stuff, but they were able to manipulate that to get more stuff into production. Picard is justifying the expense of everything basically right now. And boy, that show better be good.
It won't. It won't be.
No,
don't worry.
Akiva Goldsman, I can guarantee it. It won't be good.
There will be nipples on the Spock suit, you know?
Well, they have to distribute it themselves now internationally. They don't have a Daddy Warbucks Netflix around, and there's going to be a big difference with that. So
yes. And don't mind me, says MySpace has 1 billion pause subscribers too. So MySpace is coming back. I think that, Nostradamus did predict it in a quatrain that MySpace would rise again.
That one bearded guy who's always on Ancient Aliens and on Art Bell, who's the official Nostradamus guy, who reads the quatrains. Yes. Tom from MySpace will be returning. I still, my MySpace is still up. You can find it. My Comic Outpost MySpace is still there. My MySpace is still there. I don't know how to get into it. I forgot my password 1,000,000 years ago, but
they'll send it back to you, I'm sure, if they still exist. I don't know.
I'm waiting
the search
for it to come back.
For MySpace. Does MySpace still exist?
I used to love changing my background. That was so much fun. Okay, super chats. The Dallas Deadeye, $5. I have link to definitive proof Patterson film is legit. How can I get it to you guys? Dallas Deadeye, email me the link. I'm on Twitter at Nerdrotics. You can DM me. My DMs are open, or email it to Gary@nerdrotic.com. And I will, I'll pop it open. Yeah. Thanks for the $5. Most definitely. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I read that one. Okay. Ryan Atkins for $2. Bob Harriman, I can't even say his last name. Harrimanis was Patterson's Bigfoot. Google it. Yep. He's the one who said that he was wearing the suit, but he debunked it, and then somebody debunked him, and I wasn't keeping track of it. I
don't believe it. I mean, I heard the story, and just looking at that footage, I don't know. It just, that looks better than any gorilla suit that I've seen, especially at the period, for God's sake. So I don't know.
The one theory that I could definitely believe why people want to keep Bigfoot secret is to keep people away from them, which I could totally be down with, because unfortunately they've even had they had one guy on Art Bell, and he said, hey, it sucks to say this, but the only way to actually prove it to people is to kill one, and I don't want to kill one. It's
no, yeah,
that would suck. 490 CF 499. I'm sorry that I criticized the Star Wars prequels. After episode 7 and 8, I realized that 1 and 3 were 1 through 3 were actually good stories with bad directing and acting. They're better. They certainly are in a better light after episodes 7 and 8. I will agree with you, CF. I don't know. The prequels are tough for somebody my age. I'll speak for myself, because when I first heard the story of the battle over the lava between Obi-Wan and Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader at the time, I think I read it in a Bantha Tracks or something, freaking back in the 80s when I was part of the Star Wars fan club. And I had an awesome story in my head. In my head, I had the most epic battle of, a story of betrayal, and it just didn't play out that way. It sucks.
Yeah, not at all.
Oh God.
Yeah, I heard it was on a volcano. That's
Yeah.
basically what I heard. Or that's the original story, and then it became Mustafar and all this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just could have been great. It just there's nothing wrong with the basic structure. It was the execution, and it was George Lucas is just not very good with actors. He never was.
He's not good with people.
Yeah, he's not good with people.
I met him at Skywalker Ranch. Very awkward person. But it was great to be there. It was awesome. I I almost set off an alarm there because he has oh god, he has these oh, why my blanket? Who's the guy who painted all the covers of the Saturday Evening Post?
Norman Rockwell.
He had a bunch of Rockwells, and I mean, it just didn't register in my head that they were real Rockwells. And I put my hand up towards one, and my friend grabbed my hand and said, "Don't touch it! It's a real Rockwell." I'm like, "Oh shit!" I like to touch things. Okay,
Damn.
Yeah, it was cool though. Yeah, it sucks what happens to Star Wars fans. It's not right, but the reality has to hit us all at some point that Marvel Comics is not Marvel Comics anymore. It's Disney Marvel Comics. It's Disney Star Wars. It is CBS Star Treks. It is Star Trek. It is still BBC's Doctor Who, but these are not the things we grew up with. And more importantly, they don't feel Odin's movie blog did a great video today, which kind of took my take, but that's my fault for not getting my video out. So I had to change it a little bit, but he's 100% right that they don't need the hardcore. They feel like they don't need the hardcore fans anymore at this point. They just need to play to the normies, and that's what they're doing. And they're very successful at it. But for now, that doesn't see, the thing is, normies are fickle and they don't stick around forever. And you're going to need those hardcore fans like Doomcock and myself to help shepherd and steward the normies to the good stories, because they're just busy doing their normie stuff, watching Big Brother, driving in Priuses. And there's nothing wrong with that. But fortunately, or unfortunately, Doomcock and I are like really into pop culture, like more than the normal person. That's where the normie thing comes from. It's not an insult for me anyway. And it's, I explain this a lot in the comic shop. Like the role of a comic shop owner was to match the person with his or her story. And that's kind of what we do here at YouTube when we try to review stuff, whether it's good or bad. And when it's being pushed that a very bad movie is good just because it makes money, then people want to be a part of it because everybody wants to be cool and part of it. I don't want to miss out. FOMO, fear of missing out. That's a big thing in our society.
Right.
That's what makes a bad movies a hit.
Yeah, but it's not sustainable. And
no,
these movies are not really good. They're not entertaining. They're really not. Even the normies, if they would recognize quality, they would go back more than they go. I mean, it's basically you're putting the damn thing on the level of shit, I don't know, Fast and the Furious 7 or some shit like that you just go to, or Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. You just put down your money, you go see it because you got the goddamn kids for the weekend and you just want to go, and then you forget about it 30 minutes after you leave the theater. I mean, basically that's what The Last Jedi was. And anyone not trying to get woke points and push an agenda, I'm sure it feels that way. Yeah, it's not passionate.
The furthest thing from it, and that's God, that's the most important thing to me. That's why I'll often say, like, agenda. There can be agenda in something, and if it's good, then hey, it was still a good story. Which ultimately is all I care about. I want to be entertained and have a good story. But like people hit me up on Twitter going, "Ha ha, I like Captain Marvel." It's like, good. I'm glad you did. I mean, right. I like Coldplay. Okay, great.
Good for you.
Good for you.
I'm glad you're so easily amused. Life must be full of endless wonder for you. Those of us with a level of intelligence beyond that and taste, we're a little more discerning. So yeah, good for you. I'm sure the village idiot was one of the happiest people in the fucking village. He's going around and, chewing on his toenails and sculpting with mud. And when your aims are that simple, then sure, you're going to have a grand old time, Get out the paisley and, the hat with the bells and go nurny, nurny, nur. Good for you. Jesus Christ. But to return to the core of ExoZone, we've got a couple of things here. We've got Jesus Christ, where did it go? We had MK Ultra saying, did you guys hear about them finding the whale in the Brazil jungle?
Yes, we'll get to that. Real quick, there are some super chats. So, okay, an aside to my aside. Sometimes super chats you got to refresh, and there's some show up in the middle. I have to get to those. I haven't forgot. I will get to those. I apologize. We do need to get to that because a whale ended up in the Brazil jungle, and I don't know how
this
far.
This is not a hoax.
No,
this is real.
Dead hunchback whale discovered in Brazil's Amazon jungle puzzles. Okay, yep. This is a news outlet. I just went to the first one. Okay, so no judgment here. I mean, judge away. It's the internet. Go ahead.
Jesus.
Dead humpback whale discovered in Brazil's Amazon jungle puzzles researchers. Bet your ass it puzzles research. Is that a video? I'm going to hit play.
Oh my God. Oh, that's terrible.
Wait for
and that's just confounding.
Biologists were baffled to discover the body of a humpback whale being picked by vultures in the midst of trees and shrubberies in Brazil's Amazon jungle in late February. The sea creature, which is roughly 26 feet long, was found dead about 50 feet from the shore. So there's a shore there. A shore of what, though? Of Aruna Beach, the Brazilian nonprofit biodiversity. It's not an adult animal, nor as large as it seems in the pictures, the conservation group explained in the Instagram post on Sunday, sharing several pictures of a whale carcass. A team from the region's municipal Secretariat of Health, Sanitation, and Environment was alerted to investigate the incident. Marine experts with Bico de Agua believe a powerful tide may have launched the whale inland. What I need to see is like where this is on a map.
Yeah.
Because is it next to a river, an ocean, or humpbacks? I guess they go that far down south. I mean, they are very common around where I grew up well, that's the gray whales. Is there humpback whales too? I think there is in San Diego. And 2014 study published in the Public Library Science revealed there's a minimum of 5 trillion species of plastic in the ocean. What does that got to do with shit? However, officials don't officially declare a cause of death for the animal until so what are they saying? Plastic killed it? Okay, depending on the state of decomposition.
They don't know. Yeah, they just don't know.
Yeah, they don't know.
They're going to find a golf ball in its blowhole. The sea was angry that day, my friends.
It was. So a big tide. Well, it looks like there's like a bunch of brush patted down right there. Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know. It's like a shore. It could have been washed up, and then some. I mean, it's small enough that somebody with a truck maybe could have dragged it as a gag. Somebody like, hey, let's put it in the forest and perplex the biologists.
When a dead whale one would wash up every couple years in San Diego near where I lived, and man, you could smell it for miles. Yeah. It's horrible. Yeah.
But that's weird. That is weird. It would have been much weirder if it had been way inland, but 50 feet, it's it's maybe.
It's like those stories of all the fish dying at once.
Well, yeah,
those are weird.
That's messed up.
I think that's
really
some Navy stuff.
And I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just thinking either poison or there's some kind of sonic thing they're doing down there.
Yeah.
They were doing that for a long time. They were doing like the sonic testing, and it was effing up the dolphins. And
damn it. I hate that shit.
yeah, they were doing it all the time in San Diego. Okay, man. Okay, I got some catching up to do, so we will do that. Where the hell was I? Brother Malachi, Batman, TK. Okay, here we go. Daryl Rayner, $9.99. Have you seen the Ancient Aliens episode that talked about Gene Roddenberry being a top secret government committee that interviewed alien ambassadors, and this gave him the idea for Star Trek? I have not. I thought I've seen them all. Maybe I forgot that. That's insane.
I think that's actually not quite correct. What actually happened, to my recollection, is so I think the story just got kind of weirdly conflated. But after Star Trek, when Roddenberry was looking for other projects, he was working on a TV series about ancient aliens, basically like a for hire thing. I mean, he was basically hiring out to write a script, but it was actually him writing that script that gave him an idea for Star Trek the motion picture, not as it eventually came out, but I believe an earlier draft of the motion picture called Planet of the Titans. So Roddenberry, was working on this hired gun on an ancient alien project, got the idea for this Planet of the Titans, which was basically going to be, these aliens spawned us and that kind of thing. The studios didn't go for it, so that idea got scrapped. So basically I think that's what he's talking about.
Doomcock laying the knowledge. So I have a bucket list out there, folks. It's kind of like if the end of the world is coming, like the SMOD, the sweet meteor of death, is on its way, and there's not a lot we can do. I've got a few things I need to tick off my list. Of course, the top 5 are the obvious that I will not discuss because I don't kiss and tell. But the other one is like I'll probably get drunk again just one more time before we call it a night, and I want to know who you are. Once you realize you can, now maybe you can stop the meteor. Now of course that counts everything out because you probably have the technology to shoot it out of the sky, but just in case, a face reveal, but that's only if we're about to all die.
Yes, if we're all gonna die, then I'll go ahead and
cool.
Ta-da!
That'll stop the world. We're all gonna die. Wait, Doomcock face reveal.
And the asteroid goes, huh? Like pauses, and the aliens go, "Oh, we cannot kill such a beautiful face." I don't know why they talk that way.
They just do. That's
sometimes they do. Sometimes aliens are bad improv. That's
well, I don't know. You could be like Johann Kraus. Who knows? I don't know if you actually have a face. So
that's right. I could be a vortex. Like I take off the helmet and it's just like a singularity of some kind, a floating orb.
Ooh, that's like Cloak. Yeah. Okay. Raiders of the Lost Flicks, $5, sent this a long time ago. It's probably gone. I'm sorry. And Raiders of the Lost Ark, single greatest movie ever made. Hail Doomcock and Gary, Geeks and Gamers sent us. Jeremy, thank you, man. God, Jeremy's awesome, dude. I love Jeremy.
Hail Jeremy.
The people who give him shit, like he could take it, but they got to know he's actually a pretty damn good guy. Thanks, Jeremy. I was on his live stream last night, and then he was on with us on Friday, and it was a lot of fun. Nerd Girl, £4.99, or it's £4.99. Hail Doomcock and Gary. Great to see you guys together. It's great to be together, and we're glad you're here, Nerd Girl. Thank God. All right. And then we have Loquacious Primate for $5. Is it possible that official disclosure is impossible precisely because the information people have is so compartmentalized with competing agendas? Wow, that's a really good super chat, Loquacious. What do you think about that, Doomcock? Do you think it's just they can't do it because of compartmentalization of everything. Like there's no way they can even get enough of information to give to the people correctly. It's probably not the case, but
they don't know what to say.
Yeah, they probably have all the information, but there's no one person who's aware of all of it. And if there is any talking.
That's well, I'm sure they don't know all of it. There's no question. There's no chance that they know all of it. But look, the aliens are not going to, take them to their planet and give them all, a guided tour and documentation and shit. So, even if they are dealing with the governments of the earth, they're only telling them what they want them to know. And so there's no fucking way that anybody really knows everything that's going on. I don't believe that at all. And I just think that it's just such a wild card in terms of what the reaction would be globally. I mean, a lot of us say, well, there wouldn't be panic. People are used to this idea. Well, we just don't know. And one thing that these governments and powers that be do not like is chaos. So they're not going to roll the dice on this thing. There's no upside to it. One politician might, if they were having a hard time with popularity and they thought, hey, I'm going to boost my popularity and I'm going to go ahead and disclose this, they may be shut down, by, powers that be, etc. So
I think they have been.
I think so. Like Obama, and I think Jimmy Carter at some point. Ronald Reagan talked about it all the time.
Yeah.
He did. He I mean, I told that story before on ExoZone, but maybe there's new listeners who at a screening of Close Encounters of the Third Kind at the White House, Steven Spielberg was there. It was either Close Encounters or E.T. I forget which one it was specifically, but Reagan was there sitting next to Steven Spielberg and a bunch of other folks. And during the movie, he leans over to Spielberg and he says, there's nobody in this theater that knows just how true this is except us. And so wow. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he was always, if there is a alien invasion, we'd all come together and blah, 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 kumbaya. That UN speech. Yes. No, I think you're right. I think anytime we would get close to finding out, it would get shut down because of the lack of being there's no upside. There's nothing to be gained. The minute there's something to be gained from it, then it'll happen. I think, but the thing is, we got some disclosure earlier this year. The government came out and said, yes, we were doing an investigation. And yes, here's some video. And people are still doubting it. The UFO community is split over the damn thing. Just because they think there was some link to Tom DeLonge and the guy who came out with it. And there was a couple of inconsistencies, but they still had the damn Tic Tac video. And we have ufologists, because it didn't come from their camp, saying, oh, I don't believe it, because it's split on that human gossipy level. And that's what's screwed up. That's why I wish somebody would just put a clean slate on the UFO community, because there's so many egos involved now, and Ancient Aliens, while it's helped, it's hurt a lot too. And they're going at each other. Like on their YouTube channels, they're talking shit about each other. They're like normal YouTube. I mean, yeah, it's like blood sports.
It's pathetic.
It's freaking pathetic.
And actually, to speak into stuff that you are very interested in, Gary, and I started watching this because you suggested it. But Joe Public here is saying, I don't know, guys, ever hear about David Paulides missing 411? Those cases seem to indicate that the alleged deal made with Eisenhower is indeed a thing, and there is a conspiracy, even involving the NPS. So, basically, Joe Public is saying aliens are abducting people from the parks.
I think the Eisenhower deal, if people aren't aware, that he signed a treaty on some Air Force base, the story goes that he was in Palm Springs and disappeared for a little while. And he went over to Edwards, I believe it was Edwards, because that's pretty close to Palm Springs. And he met with the aliens and they signed a treaty. And the treaty, this is just rumor and I'm not getting it 100% right, but it's something to the effect of you can pluck a few of our people, take a few of our animals, and don't conquer us. And it's more of an exchange, and they'll give us a little technology, not a lot. And now to get it to where David Paulides is a former, he still is a Bigfoot investigator, but it's in his investigation. He's also a former cop. In his investigations, he saw a lot of weirdness with the people missing from national parks. Now, a lot of people go missing from national parks, an unusual amount. Like there's the normal, people get lost. It's very rare for somebody to get eaten by an animal, like extremely, extremely rare. And you're more likely to win a lottery than get hurt or eaten by an animal. But I can't even break it down because you have to listen to these interviews with David Paulides for a long period of time to get, because he doesn't give any answers. He lays out the case, he lays out the evidence, and lays out the connection. And it's bizarre. It is so bizarre that there's it's either it's kids, a lot of special needs kids, and men in between 20 and 30 who are of perfect health, who just disappear out of nowhere. Sometimes when they're walking behind somebody, they're just gone. And some come back, some don't, some are seen, some are found right where people had searched before, and then they go back and they find them in that area. And what's the other commonality, Doomcock? That like they're missing parts of their clothes, their shoes are off all the time.
Yeah.
And it's really bizarre. And if
often
you just
found by bodies of water.
Yes. If you want to get good and creeped out, listen to a George Knapp, David Paulides interview from Coast to Coast before you go to bed. Sleep tight. It's good. It's really good. Yeah, I think there could be something to that. It's fascinating. Michael Deich for $2. My ex-girlfriend was a reptilian. The probes were hell.
Well, but she had that forked tongue, which could be useful sometimes.
Yeah,
I suspect. I don't know. I don't know your good lady, and I'm not alleging that I did. I'm just saying, reptilian, forked tongue. It just goes together.
And Michael Hell could be, he could be into that kind of stuff. So, again, we don't judge here, Michael.
No, we don't.
Jason Green for $2. Jeremy told me to stop by. Hey, again, thanks, Jeremy and Jason. Thanks for stopping by. Creepy Little Book, $2. Hail, Gary and Doomcock. Love the ExoZone. Thank you, and we love you. Creepy Little Book. You are the YouTube channel.
Yes, I was telling you about.
Yes, I checked it out. He's pretty smart.
Yeah. And he's got a lot of stuff on Antarctica and stuff like that. So at some point, I think maybe Creepy Little Book ought to come on and do a half hour with us some night or something in the future.
I would love that. So we will be in touch, good sir. And check out his channel, Creepy Little Book. It's on YouTube. If one of the mods could put a link in the description, I would adore you for it. Thank you. Astaroth, $2. Hail, affable ones. Keep talking and take my money. Okay. Thank you.
We will keep talking and appreciate that, sir. And we've also been told here, Gary, as well. Jeffrey Grimm is saying bedtime stories is also very good. And of course, we're going to be contacted by that other the terror. What is it? Nighttime terrors.
Nighttime terrors. Yeah, that is cool. No,
that'll be fun.
That would be tons of fun. I'm all down with it. That'd be. I love that article you sent me where somebody brought us up on their website. You shot me that message and that was cool. Somebody gave us a proper shout out. That was. I'll bring that up before the night is out. Joel Tamburo, $5. Hi, do you all like cult films like Trancers, Queen Kong, Daybreakers? If yes, what are your favorites? Doomcock, cult films?
Oh man. Well, actually, one of my favorite cult films is one of my favorite films of all time, which would be The American Astronaut. I've talked about it many, many, many times. Hilarious. And just last night, I watched Forbidden Zone for the
That's
first
my
time.
favorite.
I've never seen it before. It was a black and white subtitled version on YouTube, but still, wow, what a weird trip that was.
It is a twisted movie. I don't know if it's good. I wouldn't call it good. If you want to, it really tapped into my dark side. Like, it is dark. It is disturbing. It is. And it's got Hervé Villachez, and what was her name again? It's got a big time actress in it, and it's supposed to be Alice in Wonderland in a septic tank, and there is a guy running around. There's people running around in their underwear, humping each other, and it's really bizarre. And it's got
that's the thing, Gary. That's the fascinating thing, is that really, I feel, having seen the Forbidden Zone last night, that it was definitely an inspiration for The American Astronaut.
You think so?
Absolutely. They're both in black and white. They both have the the good old boys are humping on each other that they talk about, and the A-E-I-O-U song. You know, they've got a song on there. A-E-I-O, I know. A-E-I-O-U. It's just a really very, very parallel. Although I'd say that actually American Astronaut is one of my favorite films of all time, period. I mean, up there with Lawrence of Arabia and,
Damn.
Blade Runner. I'm saying it's a fucking classic.
I gotta see it. I still gotta see it. But when Forbidden Zone to me is like observing somebody's nightmare. It is weird.
Yeah, just like Eraserhead.
Yes. Oh man. I saw. Yeah, I was. Don't watch Eraserhead really high. It's not a good idea.
No, it's awful. It's really nightmarish. It really is.
Philamax, Australian $2. Could not help myself. I like this channel too much, and we like you. Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. And we need to try and do this a little more often, Gary. Don't you think?
I'm down with weekly. Once I get back, if you are, once I get back from Italy, I think we should do that.
I think it would be smart. I think it would be good.
I agree. What do you think, folks? Weekly? I think weekly's good.
I think weekly's pretty good.
Yeah.
And we could move it around. We don't always have to do it necessarily. I mean, we could generally have it like on Sunday nights, but I think we also ought to do like an afternoon edition for our UK fans and stuff,
That's a great idea. Maybe we can
do. Because it's night for them, and then they could listen,
Yeah. I like that.
And they're saying weekly, yes.
Okay.
All right.
Done.
Good.
Done. Brother Malachi, $5. If Phil's story is true, he kind of pisses me off, since according to him, it was his itchy trigger finger that started the war because he panicked. This is true. He freely admits that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, put yourself in his situation. I probably would do the same damn thing. Although, it probably, considering that they're telepathic and they can probably sense you're going to shoot them. 6 turning 4 burning. What is up? $5. Remote viewers were brought in at the Skinwalker Ranch, and they claim they saw an underground base with humans and aliens working together. I have heard that.
Yeah,
I have heard that. The remote viewing thing, I want to get way more into. I actually want to, you want to get super woo. I want to kind of try it. I want to maybe join one of those classes and see if it's, give it a shot. What the hell? I mean, I'm in the Bay Area. I'm probably, you throw a rock in the air and I'll probably land on a remote viewing class up here with a bunch of hippies. So
probably so. And but the problem is that I remember one of these accounts where a remote viewer was looking at aliens on the far side of the moon, and they noticed and looked back. So
That
that was creepy.
that's the guy who was almost as good, if not better, than Ingo Swann, and it was the ex police commissioner from L.A. and I'm forgetting his name.
Right.
Oh God, but yeah, he was an ex police commissioner, and apparently he was just. There's different types of remote viewers, but this guy was the most consistent. And yeah, he was the one who saw something, and no, that was Ingo Swann that happened to. And he said he was very uncomfortable with the fact that they noticed him, and it kind of fucked with them for a little while, which that would fuck with me. I wouldn't, but yeah, it's kind of like when Bran in Game of Thrones was having the vision, and the Night King grabbed his arm. Same.
Oh,
thing.
that idiot! Yeah, that Bran. He was told not to go. And he goes off, and the Night King sees him, and that really triggers the whole goddamn thing. I mean, that was the turning point where he Jesus. I mean, I'm sure that weakened the spell that was binding them away from the wall. So it's not just that they have the undead dragon now. It's also that I think that spell was whittled away by that goddamn idiot.
Well, yeah, because he marked his arm and then he went past the wall.
Yes.
Now we're talking about in the show lore, because the show has gone way off book, and turns out today that it's been kind of confirmed that the Night King's eye. There's a close up picture of him from Entertainment Weekly, and he's got a 7-pointed star. His iris is a 7-pointed star, and it's a connection there. That's actually a thing. People just thought it was an accident. Oh, it just kind of looks like this. And the 7-pointed star is the official religion of the royal religion of Westeros. The seven gods.
Right. The seven.
Yeah, and they say basically what it is multiple religions are worshiping the same thing, and the Night King is indeed kind of death. He's just the stranger. He's death, or he is the god of death.
Right.
And yeah, and it sucks that they don't have 3 more seasons to explain this, which they should, but that's the way it goes.
I think it's going to be great, though. I'm excited. I'm excited about the long night. I'm excited about 11 weeks of shooting this epic battle, and I think it's going to be great.
And the prequel show is going to be out like within the next year, like when it's done. So
yeah, that's interesting, and it's going to be set like 1,000 years before. So I mean, it's going to be totally different. So it'll be interesting.
It might be during the real long night, and
that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Which I'm thrilled about, because I can't wait to see White Walkers like hunting people with spiders the size of hounds. I think that's absolutely something I'd love to see.
Hell yeah. Vince and Repeat for $14.99 Australian dollars. Do you think you could reach out and contact Richard Dolan to discuss UFOs? I think I could. That was kind of what I was thinking about. I didn't want to come out and say it, but what the hell? I'm like, again, so yeah, the channel's grown. It doesn't feel, I don't feel any different, and I don't want to ever. And yeah, I'm like, duh, I could probably ask him, and he'd probably say yes. And that would be a thrill. I've traveled to see him. I went to Contact in the desert one year to see him. I didn't care about anybody else. And, this guy does the best lectures. I listen to his lectures like once a week at night. And he's really, he's one of the most sincere US UFO investigators out there. One of the most believable. He's very open-minded. He's very empathetic. He doesn't judge anybody harshly, but when he does, it means something. Like, he's like, I don't know. I like everything about Richard Dolan. He's cool, dude. Yeah, I think that. Would you like to talk to Richard Dolan?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not afraid to reach out to anybody. I mean, I think that'd be great.
Let's do it. What the hell? Crazy Pineapple, $5. Advanced aliens on Earth inventing a light speed engine is like the Lockheed Skunk Works in Area 51 developing the Wright brothers flyer. Just saying. Exactly.
Yes, it's very stupid.
Alexis Valens, $10. Are you okay? I already.
And Nicholas Glenn says you missed a couple of his.
Nicholas, let's do it right now. Nicholas, Gary sent you another email about the comics. I got the email, Nicholas. Thank you. And I'm going to handle that after the show because I pulled my comics out. Actually, that's what I was doing for most of the day when I wasn't recording a video. I was going through comic books. It was terrible. Terrible work. Thank you, Nicholas Glenn for $1.99 and $9.99. Nicholas Glenn, did you hear about the giant found in Afghanistan by U.S. troops and how they killed it and airlifted it out? This was talked about in the Bible by American Indians. What do you think? Do you think they are real? We have discussed giants. I know this story. We have discussed giants in the past when and real quick, MK Ultra, $5. Hail Doomcock and Gary. MK Ultra, thank you for being here. I know you love the ExoZones and we love you, man. Nicholas Glenn, thank you. So we have talked about giants. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one. When I talk about giants, there is the lore out there that there was a race of beings that was like 7, 8, 9 feet tall, not like 36 feet tall or 72 feet, not like feet 5 giants, like just big people. There is there is a little evidence of that. David Hatcher Childress did find a giant skull. Some of the elongated skulls are big, but I don't know, man. And you know about this. There was a big fad in the early 1900s, and that's what it was when the settlers, right after we had moved across the West, the desecration of the mounds started happening. If you guys don't know this, America used to be covered in burial mounds, covered everywhere, and it's something they didn't really teach me in school. They only recently started teaching it in the last 30 years. I didn't know these things existed when I was in school, but they're burial mounds and they were everywhere. There was a huge one here in the Bay Area called the Shell Mound that they destroyed for a mall and a road. And some of these mounds supposedly had bones of people who were taller than 7 feet, we'll say. I don't know if you believe in that stuff, but I've read a lot about it. So
I need to see proof, you know? I mean,
Yep.
I'm open to it. I've never seen any kind of proof other than, you know, anecdotal accounts and ancient texts and, you know, and of course there are these mounds. So that's interesting. But, you know, if these troops did kill a giant in Afghanistan, where's the video? Where's the proof?
And they did it in the time.
That's what I need. That's what I need.
If there was there is pictures out there from the 1800s of giants. They could be fakes. They could be real. I'll pull up one that is the closest one to I think of being real. Give me a second here and I'll pull it up. I'll read one more super chat. David Alexander, $5. Remember the Brazilian exchange student that went missing with her hosts in Yosemite? I've been to the spot where they found her body. Creepy stuff. I remember vaguely about that.
Yeah, I know that case. And yeah, very, very disturbing.
It's
pretty amazing.
David Alexander.
And Shadow Fox here says, "Hail mighty Overlord, hail Nerdrotic. We need more men to complete the Doom Chipper, an armored space station with enough power to destroy a wooden SJW NPC franchise. All for fandom and fandom for all." Thank you, Shadow Fox. I like the way you think.
I do. Yes, I will be a part of that. Whatever. If you need crew members, I can. I'm very good at parts. Oh God,
absolutely.
Fake pictures, man. I got to find that. It's going to take me a minute because there's all the
That's
damn.
Okay. Johnny BB says giants are real. Where skeletons were found, many. There are tons of mounds in Ohio still. Says Mike Brown.
That's good. Oh God, Jim Fiera is the giant guy. And he's really dug into this, and while digging into this, aside from the giant thing, they have found that the ancient culture here, post flood, pre Clovis, basically, that there was a society in Ohio, a giant kingdom that spread throughout the northern United States, and it had one singular leader apparently, and that leader was supposedly a giant, but everybody else was regular size. But that was the burial mound culture, and we know nothing about it, which is crazy. And I'd love to know more about it. It's fascinating. Even if they're not giants, I'd love to hear about some, you know, empire that used to be here that we don't know about,
Yeah, right. And Carl Mariner, Marinier, Carl Marinier says, we got the old legend in Quebec, the Juju, taller than a European sail ship of the 1600s. She went around grabbing warriors, dumping them in her bag, and leaving to eat them.
Whoa.
Oh, that's pretty creepy.
Well, that's the thing with the giants, is they're said to be cannibals. And golly.
Well, they'll grind our bones to make their bread.
Yeah. Well, it might be good. If I can't find it, it's like from the 1800s, and it's like two guys standing next to their propped up giant, and he looks like he's Native American, and he is pretty effing tall, but I can't find it. It's a much.
Well.
Yeah, I tried. You guys, most of you probably know what I'm talking about, though. It's like the one picture that came out. I think it's from San Diego. They were in San Diego. Remember okay, I'm going to have to look into that again, David Alexander. I've been to Yosemite like a million times. I used to go there every summer with my family. It is easy to get lost in that place. It really is, especially at night. But there's so many people around. If you're staying in the campground, you're going to be around somebody. I'm wondering where she went missing from. All out of bubblegum, $5. Tuning in for the ExoZone has turned into smooth and zoom pornographic zoo film. Oh, I already read that. Okay. And now I am somewhat caught up. And then we have new ones. CF, all out of bubblegum. All out of bubblegum, $5. In Oregon, a whale washed up on the beach. Someone had a bright idea to blow it up. It did not end well. Video is available. Oh, God.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I think I saw that. I think they blew it up and then got it's raining whales. Hallelujah. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. And man, that stink, because you can't clean that up. That would have to just erode over time. Only time would heal that wound.
And you're talking about creatures that are incredibly intelligent. But he was dead already. Manic Boy Productions, Canadian, $2. Doomcock is DB Cooper confirmed. Well, I would never tell if I knew.
I wish.
Snitches end up in
he
ditches.
Got some money, didn't he? He got some good money.
He did get some money. They found some of that money. Plenty. They found some of that money a long time later. This kid found it. Not all of it, but some of it in the woods out here.
Wouldn't that be a fucking like really awful thing if old DB Cooper was like parachuting down and like, I've gotten away. Ooh, as a UFO pulls up and
they're like, well, they're going to consider you missing anyway.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And now commence the probing.
Oh, Moon River. Fletch. I love Fletch. Peter Davison, Australian, $2. Missing people, missing evidence. Hey, down in Australia, Peter Davison, David Polides has done an Australian special. There's been an insane amount of people missing from your fine country. Probably eaten by those giant spiders down there.
Oh,
yeah, dude, those spiders are big. Nicholas Glenn, $1.99. Missed both my super chats. Not anymore, Nicholas Glenn. Thanks, Nicholas Glenn. The man with two first names. Mark C, $5. I'm sorry, I just assumed your gender, Nicholas. Mark C, $5. Mentioned earlier, please check out my tweet from earlier today. I found some Star Trek uniforms. I can't place them, but they are cool. I'll check it out. Hang on. Give me a second. Oh man, I just started my OBS. We don't want that to happen. Forget that. John T-Net, 800 Hong Kong dollars on Park's story, working on town and estate on Hainan Island. Mayo people have stories dating from 5,000 years, lights from sky taking people. Locals implored us never to go into certain areas in central Hainan forest. Many disappearances annually, no media coverage. That is fascinating, John T-Net. Is there any stories on that I could find possibly? That's weird. That is definitely weird.
Yeah, John, thank you so much.
Yeah, John, I will check that out. That is John is a wealth of knowledge, man. You are yeah, he's just one of those people who's really good. Mark C, give me just a second and I got to open up another browser for my Twitter, which I really haven't jumped on today. God, I can't go days without looking at Twitter anymore. That's just not going to be in the cards. Eskimonofono $2.99. You two are awesome. Only when you guys are here.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Marcus Jose. It's right. Jose. $5. Not that I would know, of course, but is it possible that a version of the Prime Directive exists protecting us from aliens if public is ignorant? It's always a possibility. What do you think? Do you think there's a real Prime Directive out there, Doomcock?
I have a different theory, but I'm going to unveil that theory on the next ExoZone.
I love it. That's called a tease in the business, folks.
But it's actually true. I do have an alternate theory that I've been thinking about for a while now. So I'd like to talk about that next time.
That is the best part about doing the show with you, man, is you like give stuff serious thought. And I guess that's what I love. And it's not that it's not serious. It's just people were like, I gotta use my brain power for other things, but you have so much brain power that you can use it for other things. And that is brilliant. I love it.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Bionic belly button. $2. Do you think Bran can take over the undead dragon? Yes, if he learns how to use his power. He's a warg.
Yeah, I don't know. Has he ever taken over anything dead? Because really, he'd be vying with the Night King directly, wouldn't he? I mean, I think probably the Night King is controlling them, like kind of in a warg-like way. I don't know.
Well, the Night
I hope
King,
so. Otherwise, it's their ass.
See, the show didn't do it, and I mean, the show should have given us maybe that's what the prequel is going to be about. But we're going to probably find out that the Night King was a Stark and he was a warg. And of course, there is. It's not a spoiler if something isn't in the book. I mean, he's not in the book yet. I don't think he's going to be in the book. I think it's going to be something completely different. Joel Tumburo, $5. Trek fandom isn't gone. It just moved on to the Orville, which is now the true Trek. Joel Tumburo, I sit corrected. You are correct.
I agree.
And I mean, we didn't get an episode this week, but the week before, that was a really good episode, man. I liked it a lot.
They completely took over Star Trek with Identity. That was it. Yep. When that happened, they had serious cred. You know, any questions about the Orville's quality, those questions have been answered.
It is playing out exactly like the Venture Brothers. Now, of course, the Venture Brothers is animated, but the Venture Brothers was a parody of Johnny Quest and Saturday morning cartoons. And then it turned into its own thing with its own characters. And it's seriously still one of the best written shows on television. If you haven't seen the Venture Brothers, watch the Venture Brothers. It is truly great. Peter Davison, people went missing in Belgrade, Victoria, Australia. Told this by a local musician who died of cancer 1 month later. Whoa. Then maybe we shouldn't hear that story. Typo. That's okay. I got you there. If you typo, believe me, I typo so much I can read your typos. You do not have to send another super chat for it. Australian $2. Eskimo Photo, $1.99. Thanks for getting me back into comics and sci-fi. You're welcome. There's still there's not enough old stuff. We couldn't get through the old stuff in our lifetime. So if the new stuff is not satisfying, I could recommend old comic books to you that would keep you busy for the rest of your life. There's so much good out there. Doomcock just talked about one. If you haven't read The Invisibles, go find a graphic novel. It's brilliant. The Doom Patrol. If you're liking the new show, Grant Morrison did a run on the Doom Patrol starting in it was either volume 2 or 3 of the Doom Patrol, which was issue, God, I'm going off the top of my head, 19. Morrison started writing, and you could probably get it for $2 on the internet, the first issue. You could probably get the whole set for a couple hundred, or the trades. It's great. It's really weird though.
Well, I would recommend all of Alan Moore's stuff, particularly I would recommend Promethea. I would recommend Miracle Man aka Marvel Man in the UK. And I would, of course, recommend Watchmen, which is the greatest of all time. And if you are a pervert, like I am, one of the hottest things I've ever read was Lost Girls by Alan Moore and his wife or companion, Debbie Gibbons. Damn. This perverse
I have
and hot.
the big first printing hardcover of that.
Me too.
Yeah. I am a fan of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. The first 2 volumes are excellent. They're very, very good. Also, V for Vendetta, I quite like.
I liked Black Dossier. You've read that?
Yeah, I've read the Black Dossier. Love
League
it.
of fantastic.
I don't know about the new. I haven't read the new one where it's the League of Extraordinary Women, basically. But I haven't read them yet though. There's just good stuff. Good stuff. There's a little Grant Morrison story that I just love, and it's called We Three. And
that was great.
It's such a great comic, and it's like Terminator meets Homeward Bound, and it's 3 animals that got tested on by the government, and they're conscious and they can communicate. And the rabbit is like a shithead, like the dumbest one. The cat and the dog is the nicest one. The cat gets kind of done wrong, but I mean, it's good. And it's about these pets wanting to go home, basically. And they're on the run from the government, and they're released by a kind person at the government. And it's a little story, and I freaking love it.
I will just give it's not a spoiler, but usually these stories end very badly. This one does not.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't be afraid to read it. I hate reading stories about animals where animals have come to unhappy ends. And I was expecting this one to be horrible. So I'm just telling you, it's worth reading. It won't upset you.
Yep. And I was fully expecting that too from Grant Morrison, but
fuck yes.
That's why I loved it at the end, because he subverted our expectations. And I sold so many of those trades because I'm like, if you want a weird story that's good, that's cheap, it's great. It's so good. The
Adventures of Luther Arkwright. Very, very, very good.
Nice. Just got the full run of Maximum Carnage. Can't wait to read it. Also got the 4-part Marvel versus DC run. Have you guys read either of those? I have read both. Have you read either of those?
Which one?
Maximum Carnage, the super crossover from the 90s when Carnage and Venom and it was connected to the video game. It was pretty good. The 4-part Marvel versus DC. Now, the one that was connected to the card game, Nicholas, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's I like Justice League versus the Avengers is my the better one of all of them. My favorite crossover between the two companies is X-Men and Teen Titans. That one's the best. Dark Side, Dark Phoenix. Dark Side, Dark Phoenix.
Very, very good. Yes. Ravishing Rude says, thank you guys for these topics. Maybe you can cover the Mandela effect one day. We did. Ravishing Rude.
Wasn't that our first one?
Don't you remember? Yes. In fact, we were just talking about it.
Was it Mandela,
I guess that's the Mandela effect.
Yeah. Or the Mandala effect.
The Mengele effect.
The Mengele effect. What was that? Was that X-Files or?
Yes, the X-Files.
Yeah.
I really liked those. I thought that largely those episodes were horrible in the last 2 seasons, but boy, the ones that Darren Morgan did, Mulder and Scully meet the were-monster, and I forget what the other one was called, but the one with Reg and the Mengele effect, I just thought those were both fucking great.
They were. There was good episodes in these 2 horrible seasons. I absolutely agree. The Mr. Chuckle Teeth. Holy shit! Was that was good one?
Yeah, that was classic. That was right up there.
It's like
bingo.
Yeah, in the last two crappy seasons, there was like 2 or 3 really great classic X-Files episodes, and now like Gillian Anderson's gone, and oh crap, I'm gonna have to kind of listen. Secure Team just put up a video about an asteroid.
Oh, what?
An asteroid.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well, of course not. He's talking about like if we tried to blow up an asteroid, it would just be bad. We wouldn't try to blow up an asteroid. If an asteroid was coming at Earth, there's many things you can move it. You can even, if you get there in time, you can paint it, and then the heat can move it. There's lots of things you can do, but don't blow it up. That would be very bad. That would really just kill us faster.
Yeah, pretty much. It would depend on the distance away from the Earth where you blew it up. I mean, if you were far enough away, the debris field might not necessarily still get you. It would just depend. But in general, that's a bad idea.
It is. And that's the trip that Grant Morrison, Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock have been on, is like, we need to kind of get together and get out there and start worrying about this, because it's something we should actually worry about. There's a lot of things we shouldn't worry about, but one of the things is possibly asteroids.
Oh, sure.
I'm looking for Mark C's tweet. Are you
yeah, I didn't get it either. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
He said he sent it to me too, but I didn't get it.
There it is.
Did it just show up? Because I was looking and I didn't see it.
No, yeah, this is an old one. I don't see it, and I've got my DMs open. Oh, that's weird. Did you change your Twitter handle, Mark C? Yeah,
I don't know.
I was just there. Ron Mars sent me a tweet. I don't want that. No. Okay, so are we all caught up there, Nicholas Glenn? I'm glad you got those, Nicholas Glenn, because comics are great. I just got a bunch myself, and I'm gonna have plenty of reading for that plane flight that I will hate every second of that I'm about to take. I'm not a good flyer. I don't like flying at all, and I'm gonna get on a plane for freaking hours to go to Italy. I hate it. I'll be glad once I'm there, but yeah. I'm going to live stream from some ruins. That'll be fun if I can. If there's an internet connection, I don't know. We'll find out. But Sicily's got some pretty killer ruins. It's got a big old like temple that I'm going to go to and do a live stream from there.
Cool. That sounds great.
Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Joel Tamburo, Doomcock is actually Alex Kurtzman under the helmet, split personalities. Oh, that's sacrilege.
Boy, that's mean. That's very mean.
What did Doomcock ever do to you, Joel? Joel's just kidding. Split personalities. That would be worse than Jekyll and Hyde. That would be worse.
It really would. It's a shitty thing.
Like worse than Fight Club. That's how he would have to get rid of Alex Kurtzman. He'd have to pull a Fight Club at the end. Shoot out part of his head.
Oh, Mark C says regular tweet, not DM, under Stephen Chure sent 14 hours ago.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so that's what it is.
Old man internet figure. Thank you, sir. Let's just go to this. Boom, boom, boom. So Star Trek, is it like a spoiler or something, or
I don't know.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. When I go on Twitter, I get tweets that come up that I cannot believe I'm reading. The world is a sick place. Did you hear about J.K. Rowling? What she did, her tweet yesterday? Oh my God. I was on Jeremy's live stream and people were DMing me, and I started laughing on his live stream. I felt so rude. So I'm sorry, Jeremy. And I had to mute my microphone. So J.K. Rowling came out and admitted, Cordring did a video, and I like his theory that the DVD sales aren't doing good. So she got a lot of guff by saying Dumbledore's gay, but not showing it in the movie, the last movie that came out, which is a prequel, Fantastic Beasts. So she basically came out and said that Grindelwald and Dumbledore had an intense sexual relationship in Hogwarts, and the memes after that were freaking hilarious. Like, I think my favorite one was J.K. Rowling informs that all readers of Harry Potter are gay. They just didn't know it. Or J.K. Rowling, and then what Hagrid's into the dirty stuff, but he likes, Hagrid likes internet porn, and just like it turned into this meme war. It was fucking hilarious. I'm not doing it justice. You have to go and read those tweets because they're funny. And it's why you don't retcon. I mean, thank God J.R.R. Tolkien didn't have a Twitter account. I'm just saying, like, I mean, maybe it's better if you write your works towards the end of your life so you don't retcon them to shit afterwards. Both George and J.K. could learn a lesson from that. Leave your stuff alone. Make new stuff. God damn, but I'm not doing them justice, and it's not really appropriate for the ExoZone. But after the ExoZone, go check out those tweets because you'll have a good laugh. It's fucking funny.
Now I see it. There's
so many good tweets.
They had an intense sexual relationship. It wasn't just half-ass. It
was all ass.
Pun not in, well, it was intended.
Pun intended. Damn it.
Pun ended.
It was sent 14 hours ago. I'm still not seeing it.
Oh, you're not gonna find it.
No.
Look for it later.
Yep.
By the way, everybody, happy St. Patrick's Day. I hope you all had a great time.
Yeah. What did you do?
Wished I was in an Irish pub drinking heavily, but I just couldn't make it today. Couldn't make it. In fact, I haven't had a damn drink all day. Not one drop.
Wow. That's
which is great. A good thing.
Yeah,
no, I guess it's a good thing.
Excellent. Neither have I. Who cares about Dumbledore? I always get mad ever since he betrayed Snape and Harry. Iceman is gay. Yes, he is. What she's getting, the best part about it, and Jeremy pointed it out in his video, and the Courting is excellent video, is it's fake wokeness. She got busted for it, and now she's getting torn apart, and that's good. Mockery is good. What Doomcock does to Star Trek Discovery is good. It is actually not toxic. This is how we work things out in society, through mockery. It is not hurting anybody, and especially when you're attacking a property or a story, not a person. So there it is there, and the internet takes care of itself, and that's why it's funny. But yeah, what JK has been doing since then, I admittedly my kids grew up with Harry Potter. I read it and I enjoyed it. It was something I enjoyed with my boys, and she's kind of ruined it since then. And I try to ignore everything she says, and honestly, it doesn't matter if Dumbledore's gay or not, and until she starts talking about them actually having intense relationships. But like, this is a kid's story, so whatever. Yeah. Encino Man is the real OG. True story. Iceman is the one that told Carol it was the cockpit.
That's so dumb.
I can't read that chat, Therma S, but it's funny. It's funny. I'm laughing at it, but I can't read it. Rolling is out of touch, Kato Roan. She is extremely out of touch. And that's, you know what? Enjoy your billions of dollars. Just go be free. I mean, you don't have to write anything anymore. Go buy an island and chill.
Yeah, it's like it's just so stupid. What the hell? It's like on Diabetes Awareness Week coming out and saying, by the way, Darth Vader was diabetic. Yeah. Who gives a shit? What difference does it make? Grand Moff Tarkin had a foot rash. Okay. It's just these are extraneous things. If they're not in the story, they don't matter.
Yep.
God.
The end of story. They don't matter. If you have to, That's the other thing. If you have to go explaining your story afterwards, then it wasn't a good story. If you have to add things and explain, if there's big questions, like the director of Captain Marvel having to explain why the Tesseract was even there, well, then you failed because you should have told that within the story that it was just laying around. Tesseract was just laying around, by the way. So
it was in a vintage store, and they thought it was like a kind of a lava lamp from the 60s, and she just happened to pick it up. She actually picked it up. It had been covered with dust, and she picked it up, and it was like totally groovy, even more groovy than a lava lamp. And that's when she knew, hey, I'm going to invent a light speed engine.
Yeah, exactly. Even though she got there.
As you would.
Yes. Oh, man.
As you would. I mean, she had tried doing light speed engines with lava lamps before. And it hadn't worked. And so she'd just about given up. And then she said, well, that lava lamp looks particularly good. And they said, whoa, it's not a lava lamp. Of course, if she had the fucking Tesseract, couldn't she have just, imagined a lava lamp? I mean, a light speed engine.
Well, she was
It's
so
not
brilliant.
Really anymore. They kind of ruined that.
Yeah, she could have actually tried. Well, I wish they didn't call it the Cosmic Cube once, which sucks. You could actually use that to you saw Loki used it to transport himself. So yeah.
Right.
Douglas Nelson says Snoke didn't wear underwear under his gold robe. That's exactly what that is. He was freeballing in The Last Jedi. So yeah.
Because I'm free balling. By the way, Spartan Jeremy is going to send us each an Eridon class battleship in the mail.
What?
Of course, the Eridon is, my three-headed rooster of fabled Eridon, the portent at the end of time. So he's made an Eridon class battleship.
That is brilliant. I love it.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Oh my God. It's like, hey, there's I was so proud. Matt, my man, Matt Guy, his name is now what? Cotton Candy Beard Gary, which is funny as hell. I feel like I've arrived now for reals. Oh, there's Belinda. No new Expanse news. That sucks. Here we go. Okay. Gotcha, Steven. I can't place this uniform to any particular show or movie. Any thoughts? Image Hot, Star Trek Section 31 Captain Picard uniform cosplay. I can't place that either. I'll show it to you. That might be some just fan stuff, but Doomcock will know, and I will show it to him right now.
Yeah, let me see.
Here it comes. It's right next to
okay. I don't know about the one on the right. I kind of feel like the one on the left is maybe a cadet uniform. I'm thinking maybe like when Picard was a cadet, like when he gets stabbed in the heart, maybe. I could be completely wrong on that, but that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from that one.
I thought he had more of a blue thing. I can't remember that one.
I can't really remember, but I remember the red stripe on the arm seems right to me.
Yeah, I can't place that one at all. But if anybody in the chat can help, thanks, Mark C. Persistence plays out, my man. If y'all recognize that, give us the 411. Thank you, Montana Horseman. Yes, I do have a PO box now. For real, it's 236 West Portal Avenue. It's it'll be it's on my website. Go to nerdrotic.com. You can see it there, but it's here in San Francisco. No, Lord Doomcock. Jabba was diabetic. Timothy Ridge for $2. Ravishing Rude, $10. There are 2 videos on YouTube, Carl Sagan Cosmos and Neil deGrasse Tyson Star Talk, that confirm we were located on the outer edge of the Milky Way on the Sagittarius arm. Now we are on the Orion Spur. How did we move? That's interesting.
Doug Henning? It's magic.
Yes.
I don't know. Gallagher smashed a few too many watermelons and knocked us. I don't know. I have no idea.
All I know is we're a small blue-green planet on the western spiral arm of the galaxy. Hitchhiker. Thank you very much, Ravishing Rude. You're so ravishing. So ravishing. Fierce. That's a number. That's a word they like to use up here in San Francisco. It's so fierce.
Indeed.
Yes. Thirma S. JK should dike out Kathleen Kennedy. The man paid $2. I got to say, man, I'm sorry, I assumed your gender. Well, there'd be a lot of money in that room. I just got to say, if they got married, well, if they were actually lesbians, they'd rent a U-Haul and move into with each other within the first hour. Yeah, I'm kidding. It's a common joke here in San Francisco. What does a lesbian get on her second date? A U-Haul. Marcus Joes, guys, have a drink from the Harvey Booze budget. $2. I will. We will, and Doomcock will definitely have a drink, especially after talking to me for a couple hours. What do you think? Why do you think Mrs. Nerdrotic drinks vodka?
Oh, she does she?
Oh, she does. Yeah. Oh, she's a lush, that one. I like her though.
Vodka's great. Right. She should try the vodka Monopolova. That's my favorite vodka.
I'll ask her if she's tried that. She likes Kettle One. I mean, you know, she liked the Dan Aykroyd Skull. Was that vodka? The Skull one?
Yeah, crystals. Yeah, it was. But vodka Monopolova is very, very high quality. It's potato vodka. It's not grain vodka. I believe it's from Poland, and great stuff. I swear by it.
I'll let her know. The only thing in this wide world that I forbid her, because I mean, if I actually forbid her to do something, she'd laugh in my face. But the only thing, I'm not a rules guy, but she's not allowed to have tequila because it affects her kind of weird. And last time she had tequila, she got into a brawl at Coachella. It was pretty funny, but probably shouldn't be telling that story. But it was
probably not.
It was funny as hell. There's video and everything. Remember the diamonds. What is that? Remember the diamonds are what make the pure flavor. The diamonds in the vodka.
Yes, they're filtered through like diamonds or something. I don't know.
Wow,
that's the word. I don't know how much of it. You know, I don't put too much stock in that. But he's saying it's true. So,
I mean, diamonds are one of the hardest substances in the world. So, yeah, okay, I can see some logic in that. Other than it sounds really good and makes it sound expensive. What if Star Wars ends up with Kylo and Rey flying toward our galaxy, and the final shot is them landing on Earth with from the past, implying that they are Adam and Eve? Then I would pray for Admiral Adama to come down and do that jump maneuver and send the Cylons down to kill them.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Oh my God, that
Battlestar Galactica.
God, that scene where they do the jump in the atmosphere to break him out of the prison. That was so great. Oh God, dang, that was good.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the San Francisco treat. There's a lot of San Francisco treats, man. It's smorgasbord up here. Probably some new data. We have to Interpol where in the we have to oh man, what's that? Interpolate. I can't read that. Where in the galaxy we are, since we have no frame of reference outside the solar system. No, we don't. I have no frame of reference outside of my house. Loquacious primate. It's quartz. New Caprica. Yes, we are New Caprica.
Yes.
Gary, don't block. Did I block you, James Williams? I wouldn't block anybody. Not unless you got like really, I mean, you'd have to get really rude. No, James, I won't block you, man. Don't worry. The ramming of the Pegasus. But I could talk about Battlestar for 3 hours. Diamond, diamonds aren't really worth anything. Look into De Beers. Well, Extreme Stream TV, nothing's worth anything, to be honest with you. It's only whatever value we put into it. Does that sound deep? God,
yeah, no, they really are pretty worthless.
Yep. God, that chick on Caprica was hot. Yeah, she was. Which one? No, there's a couple I remember. I think I liked Caprica. That was a good show.
Yeah,
I'm on the fence. Battlefield Earth is better than Captain Marvel and the rest of the MCU after Endgame. Battlefield Earth is better.
That's that terrible, L. Ron Hubbard thing with, John Travolta as an alien.
I'm gonna have to say Captain Marvel's probably better in that movie, but that's like saying chopping off my hand is better than chopping off my foot. I think I'd rather have my foot. I'd be able to stand up. I don't know. I could also get a hook on my hand and look like a pirate. That'd be cool. Then we have somebody saying they can get really nude. Well, why don't we just start with partially, and then we can go from there. But seeing that I'm only seeing what you're writing, I don't know what good it will do. But if it does something good for you, then by all means, get kind of nude. Travolta with shitty hair. He's always sketchy. He's got a toupee.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well,
there's a documentary on YouTube about De Beers, which shows how the value of diamonds are fake. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Extreme Stream TV. Thank you very much. So how they manipulate. Pachinko Arnold. We should get those tax dollars in space, declare a national emergency to stop the comet from hitting us instead of building a wall. Or it's political. I think we should we should go out to space over many other things. How's that sound?
Well, I think it's crazy not to spend as much money as we need to construct some kind of, very early warning, very, focused and networked early warning system against asteroids. I mean, that's not even political. That's just survival. It's happened several times, and it can be a global extinction event. So it is not foo-foo. It is not nuts. What is nuts is having our level of technology at this point and not doing a whole lot more about it.
When the next couple of exozones, and this is totally on me, folks. I am like, there's something I'm completely into that's like what we were just talking about, somewhat woo-woo, and I need to get like a body of work that I can send to Doomcock to kind of get him. He knows a lot about it, but there's other stuff that he might not know that I need to give him the information so we could do a good solid show on it. And because it's starting to, not much in this world freaks me out, but it's starting to freak me out a little bit that we're finding out more and more, especially with believe it or not, Google Maps and more people searching the earth. They're finding more and more craters every day. We're finding new craters everywhere, and we're finding out that they're not that old. And there is a theory out there that when the Bronze Age ended, it was a lot of these ages, kind of like in the Tolkien books, they're ended with cataclysm, not great battle, but a cataclysm. And that an asteroid strike might have ended the Bronze Age. And that is not that long ago.
Wow.
And we're finding out that these asteroids don't hit every million years now. It's more like every few thousand. And that's why it really should be talked about a lot more. and now that they're able to map, they're able to do radar mapping, to which they basically take away the vegetation. They are seeing that our planet pretty much looks like the moon. It's just covered in asteroid strikes. So it's stuff we should really think about. I think that the Russian one in 2013 woke a lot of people up to how dangerous that could be. And that was
Well,
just a
I
little
hope
one.
so, but I mean, what are we still, I'm not hearing any politicians or anything talking about, what, this defensive crap or whatever. We need to defend the planet. That is a real global emergency, period. It's not political. It's not political to want to survive. And, I stand for rationality, critical thinking, and part of critical thinking is prioritizing survival. So I think that that's a very important thing.
I 100% agree. I would pay all the tax money in the world to have some like laser beam shooting out into space, but that wouldn't work, obviously. But there was a commercial. NASA put out a commercial yesterday about us going to. Did you hear about that? Like some base on the moon and shit. Now, I'll find it. Hang on, I'll show you what they came out with, and it was kind of surprising. Like all of a sudden, we're back in the space race. And I don't pay a bunch of attention to the news, but it was on NASA video moon. If I hit moon base, I'll get a bunch of YouTube shit. Yeah, okay, I'll have to go to it was on Third Phase Moon's channel, but I can just show the visuals of it. And it was kind of exciting.
What is it?
It's like a NASA commercial, like, hey, the next 10 years, we're going to be doing this and this and this. And I knew nothing about it. So I heard it from another YouTube channel. I got to verify the source, though, because this YouTube channel can be a little wonky sometimes. NASA getting prepared to go back to the moon.
Huh.
Here, I'm just going to show you guys.
So we finally have the technology to do it.
Aha. Well, I know Doomcock's beliefs on that, and
no, I don't. I'm.
It's okay. I think it's good to be skeptical about it.
I question, like, NASA. I've seen NASA videos like that have talked about, we're developing shielding and stuff necessary to get to the moon. And these were like more recent videos. And I'm just wondering, do you guys not remember that we supposedly went? There's weird. I just don't know. Honestly, I just don't know. I'm completely flummoxed by the whole goddamn thing. I don't know.
So I think the plan is to like have a moon base that can shoot us to Mars. I think we should just go straight to damn Mars. I mean, like, get your ass to Mars.
I know, but it's like a one-way trip. Who's going to want to go die on Mars?
I think within the next 10 years, it won't be. I'm guessing. We might have our own Epstein drive. But yeah, there's this little ad here, which is crazy. Maybe NASA actually having a little competition from SpaceX. Maybe they're working together. Maybe it helped, because we're going to have to get to a point. Well, there's also the Space Force coming, and they can use some of the money from Space Force for this, or maybe it's related to Space Force. Maybe, I don't know. We're going to space. That's all I care about. I'm happy about it because I think it's actually a good thing. It's good to have options, and going to space gives us options. That's so like Expanse right there, by the way. I was very happy about that. I can't wait till the Expanse comes back and we talk about the Expanse and we talk about Game of Thrones.
I know.
It's going to be great.
I can't wait.
Okay. Let me get back to the super chats. You do all right, Doomcock? You doing good?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. I'm doing fine. I think I got distracted by Twitter because I got I've got my CBS Star Trek source beaming me some very interesting stuff all of a sudden. So I'm like,
No, okay, yeah, I
my
gotcha.
brain kind of. Sorry, I did. It's just like I'm like Jesus Christ. I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, oh. So I may have some Star Trek news coming up soon.
Yeah, I mean, like, God, I wasn't going to do a video on that article because there wasn't enough meat in it at all to do one thing on, but I'll probably talk about it on my live stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
I got a video, the thing is, I've learned a little secret, and I've learned this from Jeremy, and Jeremy said it like 100 times on live, so I don't mind saying this, that it's really good to pepper your live stream, to have a video before and after your live stream, like a short one. It helps keep the algorithm going. So,
oh, really?
Well, because I don't like removing my live streams. I mean, what Jeremy does and World Class Bullshitters do, and I think EVS does it too, is they do a live stream and then they, after it's over, they make it unlisted, which does help the algorithm. They're absolutely right. They're 100% right. But I like leaving mine up because I turn mine into podcasts for the iTunes. So yeah,
Interesting.
But it hasn't hurt my growth too much. So yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I look forward to the information.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff. Anyway, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Let's get to the super chats here. I gotta close these windows though, so we don't crash. Doom. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Perpetual Punster, Doomcock. The point is not to go and die on Mars. It's to start a new civilization on Mars. People signed up to go. They are. People sign up, and then the actual mission happens, and then they're faced with, you are never coming back here again. That's I think
tough.
That's tough, but I'm sure people would do it. I think, yeah, I'm sure people would do it. Somebody's got to do it eventually. Perpetual Punster, thank you very much for the $5. Ravishing Rude, $10. I was trained in celestial navigation before serving as a navigator in the USN. Wow. Damn.
Wow.
I even taught my oceanography instructor how to use a sextant correctly. A sextant? How do you use a sextant correctly? I'm just kidding, Ravishing. Going from Sagittarius arm to Orion spur blew my mind. So does the galaxy like move around? I mean, not that, okay, so does it, or do we like move slower than the galaxy? So like maybe the planet could go into, the solar system goes into a different spiral arm, or yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to explain that. You probably couldn't explain it to me. Never mind. I did way too many drugs in the 80s. I wouldn't get it. Maybe if you did it like, okay, there's 2 bags of cocaine over here, and then there's a bag of pot over here, and you're a rock crank. If you're this rock crank and you move closer to the 2 bags of cocaine, and that's probably how I'd know it. Astaroth, $5. Do you gentlemen think the Orville will explore stories of God-like beings? And which series did it better? TOS with Squire of Gothos, or The Next Generation with Q?
I would say the original series, because we actually not only had the Squire of Gothos, but we had Charlie X and his Thasian adoptive parents.
Yep.
And also, Apollo, who was actually not a god, but Roddenberry visited that god, variations on the god approach. Excuse me. Many times in the original series. Q, on the other hand, is so truly omnipotent that I don't find his characterization terribly convincing, because somebody that had that kind of power and awareness is probably not going to be like Q. Now, I love Q very much. I think it's a great character. It's a lot of fun. But if you really, really tried to extrapolate what a godlike being from the Q continuum that really wasn't invested in, it was outside the realm of time and space, it would be quite different.
Interesting. And there's also Where No Man Has Gone Before. you know, where
Right.
they're becoming
The
gods.
flaws of a man who is suddenly given, absolute
Yeah.
power, corrupting. Absolutely. It's like when Riker was given Q's powers, all he did really was just call, Picard Jean-Luc. I mean, it wasn't a very deep treatment of, gaining
Yeah.
Q-like powers. It was pretty lame, honestly.
But
Come
Q
on.
is here, right here. Well, you can't see. He's on my microphone judging everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Squids McCracken is asking me, did you check out Westall 66? No worries if not, but truly is like Australia's Roswell. Squids, I've got it pulled up on my phone. I have had it there for about a week and I've been waiting for a chance to watch it. But yes, I would love to do that. And then hopefully we can talk about it on the next ExoZone.
Australia's Roswell. Interesting.
Yeah, the Westall 66, it was a suburban UFO incident that many people saw. I've not had a chance to watch the whole video. I read up on it and I was going to do it and got distracted, but I've got it right here. It's open and ready to go. So I will be doing that soon.
Sweet. Okay. It's late, folks. We're done with the super chats. I think I'm gonna run my Patreon video. We can read some more chats before we tap out. Usually we can go hours and hours, but I have to blame this on me. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but my my live streams have been short, like 2 hours. I have to do it for health reasons. I kind of screwed up my back. Told this story. I'm an old man and it was raining up here. I'm in decent shape for my age, though. Okay, seriously. But I was clearing out my gutters, my rain gutters, because they had a bunch of leaves in them, and fell off my ladder and kind of screwed up my back. And it's getting better. It's fine. I'm gonna be fine. And I'm getting a cortisone shot that got delayed. I'm getting it Tuesday, so I should be right as rain after that, and I can go back to like sitting in on 5-6 hour live streams with Doomcock with no bathroom breaks, by the way. I mean, that takes years of training to do that, by the way.
It's an exotic Eastern discipline that I've mastered over the years.
That's yours is much better though. I learned how to do. I used to be a delivery driver when I was very young, and I learned how to control it that way.
Wow.
Yeah, because in Southern California traffic, you are stuck there for hours sometimes.
Oh,
so
man.
Yeah.
Good God.
Here we go. So
you got a couple here.
I'm trying to. There we go. You guys can look at that while I read. A couple more.
Yeah, they popped up.
Oh, geez. And I got to run through just in case. Okay, Jonathan Frost, $5. Graham Hancock has a theory that the comic ended the Ice Age. Look him up on YouTube. I thank you, Jonathan Frost. And definitely everybody take his advice. Graham Hancock has, probably 10 to 15 great lectures, hours long. I would recommend listening to them in order. In particular, Joe Rogan podcast, Graham Hancock, and then Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson. Watch those in order. It'll take you a couple days because they're really long. Some of the best podcasts on the YouTubes, and it will blow you away. And it's not woo-woo. He pretty much, to me, he lays out great evidence of an ancient civilization that was wiped out by a cataclysm. And it's debatable on what the cataclysm was: comet, volcanism, solar flare, or the one that I'm starting to believe now, which frightens the hell out of me, I'll be straight up with you, is the crust displacement or the polar shift. That is crazy. But it could happen. And that one is, they used to, many people didn't think that could happen, but it actually can happen. And it's pretty crazy. But Graham Hancock is great. I've read all of his books and I've seen him live do a bunch of lectures. And I think he's going to be at Contact in the Desert this year, down in Indian Wells. And if you're in California and you're into the woo-woo, that's the place to go. It's like the Comic-Con of woo-woo. Ravishing Rude, $5. We're talking approximately 50,000 light years from where we were. Strangely enough, it is impossible to point a telescope and look at our old location. Really?
So how can that be that we've moved 50,000 lights? I mean, I don't understand.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I don't understand how that works.
And we moved 50,000 light years in what amount of time? Like in our lifetime, like recently? And
no.
No. So,
but even
so
it wouldn't even I mean, even in the history of the existence of Earth.
Yeah, it would. That wouldn't be enough time.
50,000 light years.
Well, I mean, it was billions of years old. So yeah, I don't understand that. I'm an idiot when it comes to that, man.
Janice Vanderhagen says Doomcock is greater than Q. Wow. Thank you, Janice Vanderhagen.
So I'm trying to get back to this. I'm trying to get my head. There are two videos, Carl Sagan, Neil deGrasse Tyson, that confirm we were located on the outer edge of the Milky Way galaxy in the Sagittarius arm now. So how do they know that? How could you possibly know that?
Yeah.
Do they just, is it a math equation or something that they worked out? Or I'm going to watch it. I mean, I'm not doubting you, Ravish Rude. I'm just like, I'm just too dumb to figure it out. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to watch those. Man, I got homework.
Yeah, we got to see what that, because I don't understand that at all. And I want to send a shout out to MK Ultra, who says, "Great stream as usual. If I can make the next Discord chat, I'll explain my Bigfoot theory, Doomcock." That's great, man. I really want to hear it. And we're gonna do that Dick Doomcock Power Hour. Coming up here. I posted it on the Patreon, so check it out, MK Ultra, and please do make it. I'd love to hear it. And if not, then maybe even we can have you on briefly on ExoZone, and you can talk about your Bigfoot theory, MK Ultra. That might be great.
Dave Bob says Dr. Manhattan did it with his blue balls. Yep. I added blue balls.
Yeah, you added the blue balls. Yeah.
I added the blue balls. I have a Dr. Manhattan figure. He's got pants on just to the left of me. Yeah.
If it didn't, then I'd be kind of concerned a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's only when I'm live and I take the pants off when I'm not live. Bigfoot stole my baby. That was the dingo. Oh, that ate your baby, just stole your baby. Okay. Well, maybe Bigfoot's a better dad, Rex. Just saying. Just kidding. With a big blue goober. Ew. Dave Bob. Ew. Squids McCracken. One more plug for a small YouTube channel. Paranormal News Today is serious, non-sensational UFO analysis from MUFON, etc. I like MUFON.
Sweet. Yeah.
Al Bundy is here. Thank God. That we are on a sidearm of the galaxy should be common knowledge, I thought. Yes.
Well, I don't know how you would even know that. Everything being relative to what it is. I don't know. Well, I guess that's why we'd watch the video to see.
Yeah. No, I just, like I said, the only reference I know is from Hitchhiker, that we were on the western spiral arm in the fashionable part of the galaxy.
Right. And Dave Bob says, Doomcock, what about Matilda May? I absolutely love seeing Matilda May's naked body as she runs around that ship, being a space vampire. Jesus.
Life Force?
Yes.
Yeah.
Matilda May was just, oh man.
I love that movie. I do.
Golly.
Cotton Candy Beard Gary says, Jaloja. Yes, Jaloja. Everybody probably has to Jaloja after this show. So, yes, we are going to go weekly with the ExoZone. I could actually do one next Sunday if you're game.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do it next Sunday, folks. And I guess we can try to talk about the Australian Roswell. And we can talk about all kinds of stuff. We'll come up with some stuff. And Lloyd Pye, Bigfoot. I love Lloyd Pye, James Williams. I mean, the late, great Lloyd Pye and his star childness. But his accent was funny. He gave good lectures. He's no longer with us, Lloyd Pye.
I wasn't laughing about that he's gone. I was sorry. It was bad timing. It was I was looking at the
Sure.
chat and you
No,
said
just kidding.
Lord Pie is gone, and I go, he says, Dr. Forbin Colossus says, my wife hates that movie. I watch it all the time. Of course, talking about Life Force.
Yeah.
You know, of course, you've got this Life Force chick smoking, like walking around completely naked, just butt naked, full frontal, and not just like quick cuts and shadows. I mean, it's just like Toby Hooper just went, you know, what is good in life? And what is good in life is having Matilda May walking around stark naked in a horror movie. That's just the best. And a prolonged period. It's like the whole first like 20 minutes is just her.
Oh, he just thought of a story to put around her walking around naked for. I mean, like Toby Hooper is the man. Okay.
Yeah.
And Picard was an Excalibur. Yes. Is it Juanes? Van der Hagen? Giannis Van der Hagen. Okay. That is the single best overacting done in any film ever, when he tries to pull the sword out of the stone and he does his it is so hilarious. I watch that scene over and over again. It makes me laugh so hard. I love him.
And don't forget, Patrick Stewart is in Life Force 2.
Yes.
He has a small part as a sad guy that picks her up and gets sucked in not the way he wanted.
Yep.
How about that? Boy, talk about synchronicity.
Helen Mirren was in Excalibur, and Helen Mirren was hot in Excalibur. She was smoking hot. Man,
that was just a hot movie. God. When Uther is banging Igraine, he can't even be bothered to take off his plate mail. He's just
that's my favorite thing. That's just that is some male toxicity right there that just to be enjoyed. Wrong kind of suck it.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say there needs to be a 4K transfer of that damn movie. Can somebody get on it, please?
Oh, that would make me feel bad though, because I found a copy for like $2 at the used bookstore. So if it was in 4K, I'd feel bad about it.
Did you get a Blu-ray or DVD?
Just DVD.
Just the $2, whatever. That's great.
I know, exactly. You know, it's like, well, shit, I'm happy with that. But I love that movie. Man, I love that movie. I thought Nicole Williamson was absolutely fabulous in that.
That's such a great Merlin. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. Yes. Sorry, I was reading Fleet Admiral. Just weird seeing my last name in the chat. Okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted by Fleet Admiral Beekler there. Fab. No, that he was great. He was in Spawn. He was in the Spawn movie, by the way.
Yeah, he's great.
No, he
do that charm of making.
Yes. That is it's what my top 5 movies of all time. Love it. And the soundtrack is so good. OP Dog. It is so good. And it took me forever to get that. I didn't have that for a while.
Which one?
The Excalibur soundtrack. I actually, a friend of mine sent it to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have it on MP3s that I got years ago, but I didn't know it actually was formally ever.
No, I got it on MP3s as well. Yeah, my friend sent it to me through Napster. Yeah, I don't know if they pressed it on vinyl or anything.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's just like I got the same way with the Wicker Man. I've got the Wicker Man soundtrack just on MP3. I don't think I think somebody just basically pulled it out of the movie, you know?
Yep.
Which is really good. But Frag Minion has a very good point. He says Life Force needs a better soundtrack. The opening and closing scenes is too heroic. And that guy who picked up the alien chick wasn't Picard. It wasn't? I thought it was. Am I wrong? Wow.
Once in a while.
Okay, it says Patrick Stewart, Dr. Armstrong, Life Force. Yeah. Yeah, I remember he was in Life Force. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I thought it was. But you're right, Frag Minion. Life Force needs a better soundtrack. I mean, it was not. I mean, the opening is like, you know, dun 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 dun. I mean, it just doesn't really fit.
Terry B. I haven't seen the Inhumans. Don't watch the Inhumans. It's bad. It's not as bad as Star Trek Discovery, though. I will say that. I will say Anson Mount is better in that than he is in Star Trek Discovery, and he doesn't say much. Oh, he doesn't say anything in.
Well, that's why.
Okay. All right, everybody. We're gonna call it a night. Doomcock, please plug your channel.
Well, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to youtube.com/Overlord DVD. That is my channel. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Doomcock. I also have a new Subscribe Star account for those who do not like Patreon, and it is subscribestar.com/Doomcock as well. And finally, a Zazzle store. Got selling some Doomcock merch and Harvey merch at zazzle.com/DVD shoparama.
I put your Patreon link in there, and that's good that you're on Subscribe Star. Yeah, some people don't like the Patreon anymore, and the CEO's act in the last couple weeks has been that guy.
Yeah, I just thought it would be smart to be like a fallback, and so just in case. And so what I'm going to do is basically something parallel, where the posts that I put on Patreon, I will also put on Subscribe Star.
That's smart. Yes, please subscribe to Doomcock. He he is one of the best channels out there. That should have 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers, and I'm not joking at all. So I think YouTube has done, I don't know, YouTube's been I'm not a big complainer of YouTube, but it's been weird recently, especially in the last few days.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I can't tell, honestly. I posted Harvey did some really what I thought were very funny videos, 30-second film reviews, and they hardly seem to have gotten watched. And I don't know if they genuinely, if you guys just like Doomcock a lot more than Harvey, or if YouTube is just doing shenanigans. I have no idea.
Go check them out. They're good videos, folks. I'm sure you guys have it here. So I have a Patreon as well. I also have a website. So mine is patreon.com/nerdrotic, and my website is nerdrotic.com. So if anything ever happens here, I back everything up on that website. I am playing with the idea of either doing a Subscribe Star or doing a subscribe thing on my website and just bypassing the middleman, which I'm pretty close to doing at this point. You have a PO box too, don't you?
Yes, I do. You can send me cool stuff if you want, or letters or whatever, at Master DVD, PO Box 200337, Austin, Texas 78720. Thank you, Gary.
You are welcome, sir. No more banning me, Gary, just because I'm autistic. You mean head? James, I don't remember banning you, and if I did, well, was there a good reason? Who were you before? Yeah. So YouTube has taken the search functions offline. It seems that they might be doing that. Jameis Johnson for they're doing some changes to the YouTube studio, so that might have something to do with it. It's certainly affected every single channel, though. That's for sure, and that's why I actually held off on releasing my video this weekend. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till Monday, where they, hopefully they work it out.
Well, damn it. I'll try to tell Harvey, but I got to tell you, it kind of hurt Harvey's feelings that he got such few views on his video. And I don't blame him. I mean, poor guy. I thought they were hilarious.
I think so too. James, I wouldn't ban you for calling me I wouldn't ban you for calling me an asshole. Yeah. So it's not me banning people. I think you might be, mistaking me for somebody who would ban somebody. Thank you everybody in the chat. You guys are brilliant. And thank you to all who have given super chats. I'm going to give one more run through just to make sure I didn't miss any, because I damn near missed someone Friday night. And if that's the case, if it turns out that I missed one, it will be read on the Nerdrotic Nooner, which will be tomorrow, probably at noon. Look for a Captain Marvel video or Access Media video related to Captain Marvel sometime very early in the morning. I like to release them early, like 6 in the morning. And you got anything coming out soon that you want to talk about, or is it super secret? We don't want.
Well, Harvey had more of the 30-second film reviews, but at this point, I think maybe I'm just going to put them on Patreon, because I don't know. I was pissed off. Come on, man, that was ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But then I see that James Johnson is talking about my views are down from 700 to under 200 in the last few days. So maybe it's YouTube. Maybe it's not that they weren't popular. I don't know.
Yeah, Secure Team said his views are down from generally when he puts a video out, it hits 100,000 within a couple hours, and it took him an entire day. So I think it's just happening to everybody, and it's probably if they would have told us this, I mean, all of us could have used the weekend off, to be honest with you. If they would have just said, hey, we're going to screw with the search function, of course they wouldn't. I would have gone, great. I'll just do live streams or something. But and that's what I ended up doing. All right, everybody. Thanks again. We love doing the ExoZone. Next time it will be on Doomcock's channel. Next weekend, we'll let you know what day. Pay attention to Twitter and the community section. And I will also post it on nerdrotic.com. And again, this will also be a podcast on iTunes tomorrow morning. It'll be available on iTunes and Player FM if you want to just listen to it. All right. So from the center of the earth, say goodbye, Doomcock.
From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry and sleep well. Good night.
May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Ciao, baby.